My beloved child, stop. Do not scroll. Do not look away. Do not treat this moment lightly. This is not a coincidence, and this is not just another voice in the noise of your day. I am speaking to you because you have been waiting, calling out, wondering if I still hear you. I do. And what you are about to hear carries weight meant for this exact season of your life. Stay with me. Stay through every word, every pause, every breath of this message, because clarity is coming, and so is confirmation. Do not rush ahead, and do not leave early, for what unfolds here is not information, but encounter. If you listen to the end, you will understand why the waiting has not been wasted, and why walking away now would cost you more than you realize. My beloved child, I hear the cry beneath your words long before your lips form the prayer. I hear the ache that trembles in your spirit when you whisper, "Please answer me," and feel as though the heavens have gone quiet. I want you to know something before anything else settles in your heart. I've never stopped listening. Not for a single moment. The waiting you are experiencing is not because I turned my face away, nor because your voice failed to reach me. It is because this moment, this exact tension between hope and uncertainty, is shaping something holy within you. I know how heavy the silence feels. I know how it presses against your chest at night and makes you question whether you have done something wrong, whether you asked too much, whether you misunderstood me. But listen closely now, my child. Silence does not mean neglect. Waiting does not mean rejection. When I say, I am still waiting, I am not distant. I am present, standing with you in the tension, watching your faith breathe even when it feels fragile. You see waiting as emptiness, but I see it as sacred ground. You see unanswered prayers, but I see roots growing deeper where no one else can see. There are things I am protecting you from, and things I am preparing you for, and both require time. I am not slow, and I am not confused. I am intentional. Every pose carries purpose. Every delay carries love. You are not standing in a void. You are standing in my hands, even when you cannot feel them. And when you ask me to answer you, understand this. Sometimes my answer is not a sudden change in circumstances, but a steady presence that keeps you from breaking while you wait. I am still waiting with you because what is coming must meet a heart that has been strengthened, not rushed. I am still waiting because I refuse to give you something before you are ready to carry it without fear. I am still waiting because I love you too deeply to move carelessly with your life. And my child, I need you to hear this with clarity and tenderness. Your waiting has not gone unnoticed in heaven. Every moment you chose not to quit, every prayer you prayed again after disappointment, every time you said my name through exhaustion, it all rose before me like incense. When you say, "Please answer me," you are not speaking into silence. You are speaking into a relationship that has endured storms, doubts, and long nights together. I know you feel as though you have been waiting longer than others. I know comparison has tried to creep into your heart, whispering that you are behind, forgotten, delayed beyond reason. But your timeline is not broken. It is personalized. I deal with my children individually, intimately, carefully. I do not mass-produce answers. I handcraft them. And while you wait, I am teaching you how to trust me not only when I move, but when I remain still. The season is revealing what your faith is rooted in, results or relationship. And even when your faith trembles, I hold it steady. I do not require you to be strong every day. I require you to stay. Stay honest. Stay open. Stay near. I am not offended by your questions. I am not threatened by your impatience. I am a father, not a formula. And I would rather you cry out to me in confusion than walk away in silence. So when you say, "I am still waiting," know that I am not watching you from a distance. I am waiting with you, shaping you, guarding you, and preparing the moment when my answer will not just arrive, but remain. This is not the end of your story. This is the deep breath before the next chapter begins. My child, I need you to hear this slowly, clearly, and deeply. Your waiting is not ignored, not overlooked, not misplaced, not delayed by accident. Every moment you have waited has been seen, measured, and held with care. When you look at the calendar and feel time slipping through your fingers, I am not confused by the passing days. When you feel as though nothing has shifted, nothing has changed, nothing has answered back, I am not unaware. I see what you call nothing, and I call it formation. You see stillness. I see structure. You see delay. I see design. Waiting is not empty space. It is sacred space. It is the quiet soil where roots grow deep before fruit ever appears. I have watched you wait with questions in your mind and faith in your heart, and even when that faith trembled, I counted it as precious. Do not believe the lie that if something mattered, it would have happened already. Some things matter so much that they must be handled slowly, carefully, intentionally. I do not rush what is meant to last. I do not hurry what must be strong. Your waiting is not wasted time. It is invested time. Time poured into you, not taken from you. And while you wait, I am not standing still. I am moving in ways you cannot see yet, aligning moments, conversations, opportunities, and conditions so precisely that when the answer comes, it will fit you instead of overwhelming you. You are not forgotten in the waiting. You are being remembered with precision. There have been days, my child, when you wondered if your patience was invisible, if your endurance was unnoticed, if your perseverance mattered at all. Let me tell you something true and unshakable. Heaven notices what people overlook. I see the discipline it takes to keep trusting me when nothing around you confirms that trust. I see the courage it takes to wake up again and choose hope after disappointment has knocked the breath out of you. I see the restraint it takes not to force doors open with your own hands when my timing feels slow. Waiting requires strength the world does not celebrate, but I do. And every day you wait without walking away, your spiritual muscles grow stronger, steadier, more resilient. Waiting is not passive, it is powerful. It is faith in motion, hope in tension, trust under pressure. Do not minimize it. Do not dismiss it. Do not let the enemy tell you that waiting means you are losing ground. You are gaining depth. You are gaining wisdom. You are gaining discernment. There are things you will carry in the next season that you could not carry before this one. That is why this waiting matters. That is why I am so intentional with it. I am not ignoring your waiting, I am honoring it. And listen to me now with your whole heart. I am closer to you in the waiting than you realize. When you feel alone, I am present. When you feel uncertain, I am steady. When you feel tired, I am carrying you in ways you cannot see. Waiting does not separate you from me. It draws you nearer. It strips away distractions, false dependencies, and fragile supports until what remains is you and me, heart to heart, breath to breathe. This is where intimacy grows. This is where trust deepens. This is where your faith becomes unshakable, not because circumstances are easy, but because your foundation is secure. I am not ignoring your waiting, my child. I am using it. And when the answer comes, and it will come, you will look back and see that the waiting did not weaken you, and prepared you, and protected you. It positioned you. Stay with me here. Stay present. Stay open. Your waiting is seen, and it is sacred. My beloved child, I know the silence has been loud. I know it has echoed in your thoughts, followed you into the quiet hours, and made you question whether I was still near. But hear me now, without fear and without doubt. Silence does not mean absence. Just because you cannot hear me the way you want to does not mean I have stopped speaking. Just because you cannot feel me the way you expect to does not mean I have stepped away. There are moments when I speak in thunder, and moments when I work in stillness. There are seasons when my voice is unmistakable, and seasons when my hand is more active than my words. Silence is not abandonment. It is intimacy. It is the space where trust learns to breathe without constant reassurance. It is the moment when faith matures beyond emotion and anchors itself in truth. I am not absent in your silence. I am attentive. I am near. I am listening more closely than ever. When a father is silent beside his child, it is not because he does not care. It is because he is watching, protecting, and allowing growth. My silence is never empty. It is full of purpose. You have been tempted to interpret silence as rejection, but that interpretation is not from me. I do not withdraw my presence when you need me most. I draw closer. But closeness does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes it wraps itself in stillness so you can rest instead of react. I know you want answers. I know you want clarity. I know you want relief. But there are truths that cannot be taught through explanation alone. They must be learned through experience. Silence teaches you to lean instead of rush, to listen instead of demand, to trust instead of control. And while you sit in the quiet, wondering if I am there, I am steadying your heart, guarding your mind, and shaping your perspective. I am removing your dependence on signs and strengthening your reliance on relationship. This is not punishment. This is preparation. I am not withholding myself from you. I am revealing a deeper way to know me. And my child, let me say this plainly and lovingly. I have never left you alone in the silence. When you cried and felt no response, I was holding you. When you prayed and heard nothing back, I was working. When you felt lost in the quiet, I was guiding you without noise. Some of my greatest works happen without announcement, without warning, without applause. Roots grow in darkness before trees ever touch the sky. Healing often begins quietly before relief becomes obvious. Do not measure my presence by volume. Measure it by faithfulness. I have been faithful to you in every silent moment. I have stayed when you felt unsure. I have remained when you questioned. I have guarded you when you did not even know you were in danger. Silence does not mean I am gone. It means I am close enough that I do not need to shout. Trust me here. Stay with me here. The silence will not last forever, but what it produces in you will. My child, one of the hardest truths for the human heart to accept is this. I answer, but rarely in the way you imagine. You prayed for clarity, and you expected words. You prayed for change, and you expected movement. You prayed for relief, and you expected immediacy. But I am not bound by expectation, and I am not limited by human timing. I answer in layers, in seasons, in ways that protect you from what you cannot yet see. When you ask me for an answer, I listen not only to your words but to the weight behind them, the fear, the hope, the urgency, the longing. And because I see the whole picture, I often respond with preparation instead of explanation. You ask for the destination, and I give you endurance. You ask for the door, and I give you discernment. You ask for the breakthrough, and I give you strength to carry it when it comes. This is not cruelty. This is care. I do not answer to confuse you. I answer to preserve you. If I gave you everything you wanted the moment you asked, you would not recognize how much it cost you to carry it. And there are answers that feel like blessings at first but become burdens when received too soon. So I answer differently, not because I withhold, but because I see further. There are moments when you look back and say, "That was not what I asked for." And you are right. But it was what you needed. I gave you patience when you wanted progress. I gave you solitude when you wanted support. I gave you quiet when you wanted reassurance. And every one of those answers was deliberate. Patience built your endurance. Solitude revealed your dependence on me. Quiet taught you to listen with your spirit instead of your emotions. I answer like a father, not like a vending machine. I am not responding to transactions, I am shaping transformation. And sometimes the most loving answer I can give is not the one that feels good immediately, but the one that saves you later. I know you have wrestled with disappointment, wondering why my responses don't match your requests. But hear me now. I am not dismissing your prayers, I am translating them into outcomes that will not destroy you. What you call delay is often my wisdom working ahead of your understanding. What you call confusion is often my protection unfolding slowly. I answer with foresight, not impulse. With eternity in mind, not just the moment you are in. And my child, I need you to trust my answers even when they do not come wrapped in the language you expected. Sometimes my answer is a closed door that saves you from future pain. Sometimes my answer is a season of growth that feels uncomfortable but makes you unbreakable. Sometimes my answer is not yet, because now would have wounded you deeply. I answer with love that thinks long term, not convenience that feels good short term. I answer with precision, not haste. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you will look back and realize that the answer you wanted would have cost you peace. But the answer I gave you built it. Stay open to how I speak. Stay humble in how you listen. I am answering you, my child. Just not in the limited ways you imagined. My beloved child, let me speak to the fear that has quietly lived in your waiting, the fear that if it hasn't arrived yet, it may never arrive at all. That fear is not truth. What you are waiting for is not lost. He is not forgotten. It is not slipping through my fingers. It is being protected, shielded, guarded, preserved with intention. If you could see what I see, you would understand why I have not released it yet. There are forces you do not perceive, pressures you do not recognize, and moments ahead that require strength you are still growing into. I protect what is precious. I cover what is fragile. I delay what could be damaged by premature exposure. You see waiting as risk. I see early release as danger. I am not teasing you with delay. I am guarding what I have prepared so it reaches you whole, not broken. Some blessings cannot survive impatience. Some answers cannot withstand haste. So I keep them hidden, not to frustrate you, but to ensure they arrive intact. There are things ahead of you that will change the shape of your life. They carry weight, responsibility, influence, impact. And if they were placed in your hands too soon, they would overwhelm you instead of blessing you. So I protect them by protecting you first. I strengthen your character before expanding your capacity. I deepen your roots before exposing you to greater winds. I teach you to walk steadily before I ask you to carry more. Protection often feels like absence, but it is presence at work behind the scenes. While you wait, I'm inspecting every detail, aligning every piece, removing what would harm you, and reinforcing what will hold. Nothing about this process is careless. Nothing is random. Nothing is late. I am protecting your future from being ruined by an unready present. That is love in action, even when it feels painful. And my child, I want you to release the fear that something will go wrong if you wait too long. What I have for you is not fragile in the way you fear. It will not expire because of patience. It will not disappear because of obedience. It will not be stolen because of trust. What I protect, I secure. What I promise, I preserve. The waiting you are in now is not weakening your future, it is fortifying it. When the time comes, what I release will meet a heart that is ready, hands that are steady, and faith that is rooted. And you will realize that the protection you once questioned was the very thing that made the blessing sustainable. Stay with me here. Trust me here. What you are waiting for is not at risk. It is safe in my hands. My child, there are tears you have cried that no one else has ever seen. Tears you wipe away quickly. Tears you swallowed so your voice would not break. Tears that fell in the dark when the world was asleep and you were left alone with your thoughts. I saw every one of them. Not a single tear escaped my attention. Not one fell without landing in my care. You may think those tears were small, insignificant, forgotten the moment they dried, but I tell you, they were heavy with meaning. Each tear carried a story. Each tear held a prayer. Each tear was a confession of need when words failed you. I saw the way you smiled in front of others while your heart was quietly breaking inside. I saw the strength you tried to maintain when your soul felt tired beyond words. I saw the courage it took to keep going when everything in you wanted to stop. Do not believe the lie that because no one noticed your pain, it did not matter. Heaven noticed. I noticed. I was close enough to catch every tear before it hit the ground. There were moments when you felt ashamed of your tears, as if crying meant weakness, as if sorrow meant failure. But listen to me now. Your tears did not disappoint me. They moved me. They spoke when your lips could not. They revealed trust when your heart felt fragile. You cried because you cared. You cried because you hoped. You cried because you believed something better was possible, even when it felt far away. Tears are not signs of defeat. They are evidence of endurance. They are proof that you did not become hardened, that you did not shut down, that you did not let bitterness replace tenderness. While others grew cold, you stayed soft. While others numbed themselves, you stayed honest. It cost you something. I know it did. And I honor it. I honor every tear shed in faith, every tear cried in confusion, every tear released in surrender. I am not a father who turns away from pain. I draw closer to it. When you cried, I leaned in. When you broke down, I held you together. When you felt alone, I was nearer than ever. And my child, there is something I need you to understand with clarity and comfort. Your tears were not wasted. Not one. I did not allow you to cry without purpose. Some tears washed wounds you did not know how to heal. Some tears softened places that pain tried to harden. Some tears prepared your heart to receive comfort you had not yet experienced. And some tears were seeds, yes, seeds, planted in the soil of your future joy. The same eyes that saw you cry will see you smile again. The same heart that broke in silence will feel peace out loud. I am not finished with your story, and I am not done restoring what sorrow touched. I saw the tears you never showed, my child, and I promise you, they will speak again, not in pain, but in testimony. My beloved child, I know this thought has crossed your mind more times than you want to admit. Maybe this is happening because I did something wrong. I know you have replayed your past, examined your mistakes, questioned your choices, wondering if this season of waiting, silence, and struggle is some form of punishment. Let me speak clearly and gently into that fear, because it is not from me. You are not being punished. I am not correcting you with suffering. I am not withholding goodness to teach you a lesson. I am not standing over you with disappointment in my eyes. That is not who I am. That is not how I love. Punishment pushes away. My love draws close. Punishment produces fear. My love produces growth. What you are experiencing is not judgment. It is formation. It is refinement. It is shape you. And there is a vast difference between being punished and being prepared. You must understand this, my child. I do not discipline to harm. I discipline to heal. And discipline does not always look like pain. It often looks like process. You are in a process, not a penalty. A season, not a sentence. I am not revisiting your past to condemn you. I am building your future with care. If I were punishing you, I would have withdrawn my presence. But I have stayed. If I were punishing you, I would have let you collapse under the weight. But I have sustained you. If I were punishing you, I would have closed my ears to your prayers. But I have listened, even when you whispered them through exhaustion. You are still here because my mercy is still active in your life. You are still standing because my grace has been holding you upright. Punishment breaks. Preparation strengthens. And everything in this season, every challenge, every delay, every stretching moment, is strengthening something in you that will matter deeply in what comes next. So release the guilt you have been carrying unnecessarily. Release the shame that tells you you deserve this pain. Release the lie that I am disappointed in you. I am not. I am proud of your endurance. I am pleased with your persistence. I am near to your humility. You are not being punished. You are being trusted with a process that will shape you into someone who can carry what I am preparing to release. I see who you are becoming, even when you only see what feels broken. I see strength where you see struggle. I see growth where you see delay. I see purpose where you see confusion. You are not under judgment, my child. You are under my care. And my care may stretch you, but it will never harm you. Stay with me. Trust me here. This is not punishment. This is love at work. My child, there is a difference between trusting my hand and trusting my heart, and this season is teaching you that difference more deeply than words ever could. Trusting my hand means believing I will act. Trusting my heart means believing I am good even when I appear still. And I know this lesson has been costly. You have trusted my hand before. You have seen me move, intervene, rescue, provide. You remember those moments, and they are precious to you. But now you are in a place where my hand feels hidden, and only my heart remains visible through faith. This is not regression, it is maturity. I am not taking something away from you. I am inviting you deeper. When you trusted my hand, you trusted what I could do. Now I am teaching you to trust who I am. This is a harder trust, but it is a stronger one. It is a trust that does not collapse when circumstances shift. It is a trust that does not panic when timelines stretch. It is a trust that holds steady in the dark because it knows my character, not just my capability. You have prayed, Lord, show me. Lord, fix this. Lord, move now. And I heard every word. But sometimes, my answer is not immediate movement. It is sustained closeness. I want you to know me beyond outcomes. I want you to recognize me even when results are delayed. Because if your faith only survives when my hand is visible, it will struggle when life becomes uncertain. But if your faith is anchored in my heart, it will remain unshaken no matter what surrounds you. This is why I allow seasons where you must walk by trust instead of sight. This is why I let you feel the stretch between promise and fulfillment. I am teaching you that my love does not disappear when my actions are quiet. I am teaching you that my care is constant even when my interventions are selective. I am teaching you to rest in my intentions, not just my interventions. This is not easy, but it is holy. And my child, I know how vulnerable this feels. It feels like standing without proof. It feels like believing without evidence. It feels like loving without reassurance. But this is where intimacy deepens. This is where your relationship with me becomes less transactional and more relational. You are learning that I am not a God who must constantly prove himself to remain trustworthy. I am a Father whose heart is steady, whose promises are sure, and whose love does not fluctuate with circumstances. One day, you will look back on this season and realize that it was not about what you receive it was about who you became. You will realize that trusting my heart gave you peace long before my hand brought resolution, and that peace will remain with you even when the next challenge comes. Stay with me here. Let this trust take root. You are learning something eternal. My child, as you learn to trust my heart beyond what you can see, I now invite you into partnership with me. When you sow into this work, you are trusting not just what I will do for you, but what I will do through you for others still waiting in the dark. I say to you now, those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy, and this seed carries light into hearts crying, "Please answer me. I am still waiting." This is not a donation. It is manna released into the wilderness of another soul. I am placing this invitation before you because timing matters, and obedience unlocks rivers. If you feel my stirring, that is my hand moving through your faith. Bless this mission through super thanks, membership, or by giving through PayPal. The link is waiting in the video description. So now, trust my heart and watch me multiply what you place in my hands. My beloved child, I need to speak to you with urgency now, because there has been a quiet battle happening in your mind while you wait. The enemy does not attack you most fiercely when you are moving forward. He attacks you when you are standing still. Waiting creates space, and if you are not careful, doubt will try to occupy that space. You whisper subtly, patiently, persistently. He does not shout at first. He suggests. You plants questions. What if God forgot? What if you misunderstood? What if this is as good as it gets? And because you are tired, because you are vulnerable, because you are human, those whispers can sound convincing. But listen to me now. Those thoughts are not truth. They are tactics. The enemy uses waiting because waiting feels like uncertainty, and uncertainty can become fear if it is not anchored in faith. He wants you to confuse delay with denial, silence with absence, patience with punishment. He wants you to question my character when you are waiting on my timing. And that is why I am speaking clearly now, so you do not mistake the voice of doubt for reality. The enemy knows something you sometimes forget. If I had forgotten you, you would not still be standing. If I had abandoned you, you would not still be breathing. If my hand had left you, you would have collapsed under the weight long ago. The very fact that you are still here, still hoping, still praying, still reaching, is evidence that I am sustaining you. Doubt says nothing is happening. Faith says something is forming. Doubt says you are alone. Faith says you are held. Doubt magnifies time. Faith magnifies truth. And I know the enemy has tried to wear you down slowly, one thought at a time, one question at a time, one discouraging moment at a time. But hear me now. His strategy will not succeed. You are not weak for feeling doubt. You are human. But you are strong because you did not let doubt have the final word. And my child, I want you to understand this deeply. Waiting is dangerous territory for the enemy, not for you. Because waiting builds endurance, Waiting strengthens discernment. Waiting deepens roots. The enemy fears what you are becoming while you wait. He fears the version of you that will emerge with unshakable faith, quiet confidence, and deep trust. That is why he fights so hard in this season. He knows what I am preparing to release. He knows the authority you are gaining. He knows the wisdom you are developing. So when doubt comes, do not panic. Recognize it. When fear whispers, do not agree with it. Answer it with truth. I am still with you. I am still working. I am still faithful. The waiting will not break you. It will expose the lies that can no longer live in you. Stay anchored. Stay alert. Stay close to me. This season is not your downfall. It is your foundation. My child, you believe your faith has been quiet because it has not shouted through miracles or instant answers. But hear me clearly now. Your faith is speaking louder than you realize. Heaven hears it every single day. Faith does not always announce itself with confidence. Sometimes it speaks through consistency. Sometimes it speaks through endurance. Sometimes it speaks through the simple act of getting up again when you feel spiritually tired and emotionally drained. Every time you choose not to quit, your faith speaks. Every time you pray again after disappointment, your faith speaks. Every time you whisper my name when your strength feels thin, your faith speaks. You think faith must roar to be effective, but often it is the quiet persistence that moves heaven the most. Your faith has been steady, not flashy, rooted, not rushed, and that kind of faith carries weight in the unseen realm. Angels recognize it. Heaven records it. I celebrate it. There have been moments when you felt weak and assumed your faith was failing. But weakness does not silence faith, it reveals it. Strong faith is not the absence of struggle, it is the presence of trust in the middle of it. You trusted me when it would have been easier to walk away. You stayed when doubt invited you to leave. You waited when impatience begged you to force things. That is not small faith. That is mature faith. That is faith forged under pressure, refined through resistance, strengthened by time. Faith like that does not collapse when circumstances shake. It anchors deeper. You are not as fragile as you think. The fact that you are still here, still open, still listening, is proof that your faith is alive and active. Even when you felt unsure, your faith continued to breathe. Even when your hope fell thin, your faith did not disappear. It leaned on me quietly, steadily, persistently. And my child, I want you to understand this truth deeply. Faith speaks even when you say nothing. When you wait instead of walking away, that speaks. When you forgive instead of hardening your heart, that speaks. When you obey without immediate reward, that speaks. When you trust my timing over your urgency, that speaks loudly in heaven. Your faith has already triggered movement you cannot yet see. It has already set things in motion behind the scenes. It has already reached places your eyes have not. Do not underestimate what you carry. Do not belittle the faith that has kept you standing. I hear it. I honor it. And I am responding to it, even now. Stay steady, my child. Your faith is not silent. It is shaping your future. My beloved child, while you have been looking for visible change, I have been working invisibly with precision. I am answering behind the scenes, in places you cannot access, in moments you do not witness, in ways you do not yet understand. Heaven does not always move loudly, but it always moves intentionally. While you wait, conversations are happening you do not hear. Alignments are forming you do not see. Doors are being prepared that will open at exactly the right moment. I am not reacting to your prayers. I am responding with foresight. I am not scrambling to fix things, I am orchestrating outcomes. Every delay has allowed me to arrange details that would have been missed if I moved too quickly. Nothing about this season is idle. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Even the pauses are purposeful. You have wondered if anything is happening at all. You have asked yourself if the effort of trusting me is worth it. Let me answer you plainly. More is happening than you realize. I'm repositioning people. I am redirecting paths. I am removing obstacles you would have tripped over later. I am closing doors quietly so you are not hurt loudly. I am shaping circumstances so that when the answer arrives, it does not arrive fragile, it arrives firm. The unseen work often takes longer because it must be done thoroughly. Foundations take time. Webberian takes pain. Protection takes wisdom. I am not slow, I am careful. And I would rather take longer and do it right than move fast and let it fall apart in your hands. And my child, one day soon, yes, sooner than you think, you will look back and see how much was happening while you thought nothing was changing. You will recognize my fingerprints on moments you once questioned. You will understand why certain things had to wait, why certain people had to leave, why certain doors remained closed longer than you hoped. And when you see it, peace will settle in your heart, not regret. Gratitude will rise, not resentment. Because you will realize that while you were waiting, I was working. When you were praying, I was positioning. While you were trusting, I was building something that could last. Stay with me here. Stay patient. Stay open. The answer is not absent. It is unfolding. My child, I know the distance feels long. I know the road behind you feels endless and the road ahead feels unclear. But hear me with a steady heart now. You are closer than you think. Closer than your emotions allow you to feel. Closer than your thoughts allow you to believe. Closer than your circumstances are willing to admit. There is a strange tension that exists right before breakthrough. A heaviness that whispers, nothing is changing, even while everything is aligning. Attention is not failure. It is proximity. It is the weight of promise pressing against fulfillment. You feel tired because you have walked far. You feel weary because you are near. The longest stretch of the journey often comes just before arrival, not because the destination moved farther away, but because endurance is being asked to finish what faith began. Do not mistake fatigue for distance. Do not confuse exhaustion with delay. You are not far, you are close. There is something about nearness that tests the soul. When you were far away, hope felt easy. When the promise was distant, imagination carried you. But now, because you are close, the details matter. The cost is real. The waiting is intense. And the enemy knows this. He tries hardest when the finish line is within reach. He wants you to quit not because you are losing but because you are winning quietly. He wants you to believe nothing is happening so you will step away just before something does. But I am telling you now, do not step away. Do not loosen your grip. Do not retreat into numbness. You are closer than you have ever been. The ground beneath your feet is shifting because you are approaching a place that requires stability, not speed. I am slowing you down not to delay you, but to steady you for what you are about to receive. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to breathe, to trust, and to stay. And my child, one day very soon, you will realize that the moment you almost quit was the moment you were nearest to the answer. The night you felt most discouraged was the night heaven was moving most intentionally. The day you questioned everything was the day alignment quietly completed itself. You will look back and understand that what felt like endless waiting was actually final preparation. I do not bring my children close to promises just to leave them stranded. I do not guide you this far to abandon you at the edge. You are closer than you think, to peace, to clarity, to resolution, to a season that will not require as much striving. Stay with me. Stay present. Stay faithful. Nearness requires patience, but it also carries reward. My beloved child, everything you are enduring right now is connected to what comes next. Nothing is random. Nothing is excessive. Nothing is meaningless. I am strengthening you, layer by layer, moment by moment, for what you are about to step into. You are being prepared not just to receive, but to sustain. Not just to hold, but to steward. Not just to survive blessing, but to remain grounded within it. Strength is not built in comfort. It is built in resistance. Endurance is not formed in ease. It is formed in persistence. And while you have wondered why the season has required so much of you, the truth is simple and sacred. What is coming will require someone who is steady, not shallow. Rooted, not reactive. Humbled, not hurried. I am shaping you to become that person. You have felt stretched in ways you did not expect. Mentally tired. Emotionally tested. Spiritually challenged. But this stretching is not meant to tear you. It is meant to expand you. I am increasing your capacity so you can carry what you once could not. I am deepening your discernment so you will not be distracted when new doors open. I am strengthening your boundaries so you will not lose yourself when new responsibilities arrive. This season is not about punishment or delay. It is about preparation. You are learning how to remain calm under pressure, how to stay faithful without applause, how to trust me without guarantees. These are not small lessons. They are essential ones, and they are shaping you into someone who will not be shaken by the weight of what I am preparing to release. And my child, I want you to know this clearly. I would not be strengthening you if there were nothing ahead that required strength. I would not be refining you if there were nothing valuable to protect. I would not be teaching you endurance if there were no distance left to carry. What comes next will not crush you because you will not enter it unprepared. You will walk into it with wisdom earned through waiting, strength built through perseverance, and peace rooted in trust. One day you will look back at this season and say, "That was when I became ready." Not because everything was easy, but because I was with you through all of it. Stay with me, my child. The strength you are gaining now is not for nothing. It is for what comes next. My child, I know there have been moments when the waiting felt pointless, like standing still while the world moved on without you. I know you have asked, sometimes out loud and sometimes only in your heart, what is the reason for this? Why must it take so long? Let me answer you now with truth that settles the soul. Your waiting has purpose. Not accidental purpose. Not vague purpose. Intentional, measured, precise purpose. Nothing about this season is filler. Nothing here is meaningless. Every pause has been shaping something within you that could not be shaped any other way. Waiting is not the absence of purpose. It is the presence of preparation. It is the slow work that happens beneath the surface while everything above looks still. You see time passing. I see alignment forming. You see repetition. I see reinforcement. You see delay. I see destiny being handled with care. Purpose is rarely loud while it is being formed. It grows quietly, steadily, invisibly. Just as a seed does not announce its growth while it is buried, your purpose has been developing in hidden places, inside your patience, inside your obedience, inside your willingness to trust me even when nothing made sense. Waiting has taught you things success alone never could. It has taught you humility without humiliation, dependence without desperation, endurance without bitterness. It has revealed what truly matters to you and what you were holding on to out of fear rather than faith. It has stripped away illusions, false timelines, and expectations that would have hurt you later. Waiting has refined your desires, clarified your values, and aligned your heart more closely with mine. That is purpose at work, even when it feels uncomfortable. And my child, hear this with reassurance and strength. Purpose is not always about what you are waiting for. It is about who you are becoming while you wait. This season has been shaping your character so that when the answer arrives, it does not overwhelm you or change you for the worse. Purpose is protecting you from receiving blessings that would have distracted you from me or from who you are meant to be. When you finally step into what you have been praying for, you will do so with wisdom instead of recklessness, gratitude instead of entitlement, peace instead of fear. And one day you will look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to happen this way." The waiting will make sense. The process will feel holy. The purpose will be clear. Stay with me here, my child. This season matters more than you know. My beloved child, let me speak directly to the fear that has tried to take root in your heart. The fear that I may have changed my mind about you. That somehow, because of time, mistakes, or unanswered prayers, my intentions shifted or my promises weakened. Listen carefully now. I have not changed my mind about you. Not once. Not ever. My plans are not fragile. My promises are not emotional. My love is not conditional on your performance or your pace. What I spoke over you still stands. What I planned for you still exists. What I promised you still waits in my timing, not erased by your waiting. I do not change my mind the way people do, pulled by disappointment, influenced by impatience, or swayed by circumstances. I am steady. I am faithful. I am constant. You may have changed. You may have grown. You may have stumbled, doubted, questioned, and struggled. But my view of you has not wavered. I still see the same potential, the same calling, the same purpose I placed within you from the beginning. Delay does not mean reconsideration. Silence does not mean regret. Process does not mean cancellation. If I had changed my mind about you, I would have withdrawn my presence. But I have stayed. If I had changed my mind, I would have removed my peace. But I have sustained you. If I had changed my mind, you would not still feel the pull toward me, the stirring in your spirit, the quiet knowing that there is more ahead. That knowing is evidence that I am still committed to you. And my child, I want you to release the lie that says, "Maybe I missed it." You have not missed it. You have not ruined it. You have not outgrown my grace or exhausted my patience. My timing is not fragile, and my purposes are not easily undone. I am not looking for reasons to disqualify you. I am providing grace to carry you through the process. The waiting has not changed my mind. It has confirmed my care. I am still invested in you, still walking with you, still shaping what comes next. And when the time is right, what I promised will unfold, not as a faded version of what you hoped for, but as something fuller, wiser, and more enduring than you imagined. Stay with me, my child. I have not changed my mind about you, and I never will. My child, you have looked at your life and thought, this chapter feels unfinished. You have stared at pages that seem blank, scenes that feel repetitive, moments that appear stalled, and you have wondered whether the story has lost its direction. But hear me now, with a calm and steady heart. I am still writing your story. I have not set down the pen. I have not abandoned the narrative. I have not skipped ahead without you. The pauses you see are not endings, they are transitions. The silence between chapters is not emptiness, it is anticipation. Stories that matter are never rushed. Stories that last are layered, textured, patient. I am not writing a headline, I am writing a legacy. And legacies take time. You measure progress by visible milestones, but I measure it by internal transformation. While you count pages, I am shaping plot. While you question pacing, I am deepening meaning. Nothing has stalled. Everything is unfolding. You have mistaken repetition for stagnation, but repetition is how themes are established. You have mistaken waiting for erasure, but waiting is how tension is built before resolution. Every return to prayer, every revisiting of faith, every quiet endurance you thought was redundant has been reinforcing the story I am telling through you. This chapter you are in, yes, the one that feels slow, heavy, unresolved, is not filler. It is the chapter where strength is revealed without applause, where faith breathes without proof, where character forms without recognition. Readers often skim these chapters, but they are the ones that make the ending believable. I am writing a story that will make sense not only to you, but to those who will one day learn from your perseverance. I am weaving meaning into moments you barely noticed. I am connecting threads you thought were loose ends. Nothing is being wasted. Not a tear, not a delay, not a single day. And my child, one day you will look back and realize that what felt like a pause was actually a turning point. You will see how one quiet decision led to a protected future, how one unanswered prayer preserved your peace, how one season of waiting saved you from a chapter that would have wounded you deeply. The story will read differently with time. You will see my fingerprints on every page. You will recognize my voice in moments you once questioned. And you will know, deep in your spirit, that I never stopped writing. Stay with me. Stay present in this chapter. The story is still unfolding, and the author is not finished speaking. My child, as I continue writing your story, I am also writing hope into the lives of those who hear this message. Every seed you release helps turn blank pages into testimonies and silence into answered prayer. I declare to you now, I give seed to the sower and bread for food, and I will increase your store of seed, says the Lord who authors every chapter. This moment is not a pause. It is a turning point where generosity becomes ink in my hands. What you give today carries fire into homes, oil into weary lamps, and reassurance into hearts still waiting on me. Do not pass by this divine appointment thinking it is small. Heaven measures it differently. Support this work now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. Act now, and let your obedience become part of the story I am still writing. My beloved child, there are things you have wanted so badly that you believed receiving them would finally quiet your heart. You prayed. You planned. You imagined how everything would change once they arrived. And when they didn't, disappointment settled in like a shadow. But listen carefully now, with trust instead of tension. I have been protecting you from regret. Some doors you knocked on would have opened into seasons you were not meant to survive. Some answers you longed for would have given you temporary relief, but lasting sorrow. Some paths you begged me to bless would have cost you peace, identity, and joy. My weight has been a shield. My not yet has been mercy. My delay hath been protection wrapped in patience. You see regret as something that comes from mistakes, but often it comes from timing. Good things received at the wrong time can become heavy burdens. Relationships entered too soon can drain instead of delight. Opportunities embraced prematurely can pressure instead of prosper. I see the full weight of what you ask for, not just the beginning, but the middle and the end. I see the demands it will place on you. I see the sacrifices it will require. I see the vulnerabilities it will expose. And because I love you, I will not release something into your life until it can bless you without breaking you. I would rather disappoint you briefly than devastate you permanently. That is not distance, that is devotion. And my child, one day you will thank me for the things I did not give you when you asked. You will look back and realize how close you came to carrying regret you were never meant to bear. You will see how my restraint preserved your future, your faith, your heart. The regret you feared from waiting will be replaced by gratitude for protection. You will understand that love sometimes says no so that joy can say yes later. Stay with me. Trust me here. I am not keeping good things from you. I am keeping you from harm you cannot yet see. And that, my child, is the care of a father who knows the end from the beginning. My child, there have been moments when you felt unbearably alone, moments when silence pressed so close that you wondered if anyone was near at all. But hear me now with certainty that does not waver. I am closer than your next breath. Before you inhale, I am already there. Before you exhale, I am still present. My nearness is not dependent on your awareness of me. It is rooted in my promise to never leave you. You may search the room for signs of me, but I dwell within reach of your spirit, closer than your thoughts, nearer than your fears. Even when your heart races with anxiety or sinks with exhaustion, I remain steady, unmoved, faithful. I do not come and go based on your emotions. I do not drift when you struggle. I am constant. I am near. I am with you in ways that do not always announce themselves, but never abandon you. When you feel unseen, I am watching. When you feel unheard, I am listening. When you feel unsupported, I am holding you up quietly, firmly, completely. There were times you thought distance separated us, times when prayer felt heavy, worship felt forced, faith felt thin. But distance was never the truth. The truth is that pain can dull perception, and weariness can blur awareness. Yet even then, I was closer than you realized. I was in the breath that steadied you when panic rose. I was in the calm that surprised you after tears. I was in the strength that carried you through days you thought would break you. You did not survive by accident. You endured because I was sustaining you moment by moment. My closeness is not dramatic, it is dependable. Not loud, it is loyal. Not fleeting, it is fixed. When you thought you were standing alone, you were leaning on me without even knowing it. When you felt like you were holding yourself together, it was my hand beneath yours, keeping you from falling apart. And my child, I want you to rest in this truth now. You do not need to reach far to find me. You do not need to climb, strive, or search. I am already here, in the waiting, in the confusion, in the quiet ache that has lingered in your chest. My nearness is not a reward for strong faith, it is a gift for weary hearts. Let that truth settle you. Let it calm the racing thoughts. Let it soften the tension you have been carrying. You are not alone in this season. You have never been alone. I am closer than your next breath, and I will remain so, no matter what comes next. My beloved child, I want you to know this with absolute clarity. Your cry has reached heaven. Not just the prayers you spoke clearly, but the ones that came out as sighs. Not just the words you formed carefully, but the ones that broke apart before they were finished. Every cry, spoken, whispered, or silent, rose before me. None of them fell to the ground unheard. Heaven is not distant from pain. It leans toward it. When you cried out in desperation, thinking your voice was too small or too tired to matter, it mattered more than you knew. Your cry carried truth. It carried vulnerability. It carried trust even when faith felt weak. And heaven responds to truth with attention. I heard you when you said, please. I heard you when you said, why. I heard you when all you could say was my name. Every cry reached me, and each one moved my heart. You may have wondered why, if I heard you, things did not change immediately. But hearing does not always mean instant alteration. It means intentional response. Some cries require comfort before correction. Some cries require strength before solution. Some cries require presence before provision. I do not rush to fix what needs to be healed gently. I do not silence pain with quick answers that leave deeper wounds untouched. When your cry reached heaven, it did not trigger indifference. It activated care. It set things in motion you could not see. It summoned help you did not know you needed. It marked moments that will one day make sense. Your cry was not the end of your hope. It was the beginning of my response. And my child, I want you to understand this deeply. Heaven does not measure cries by volume, but by sincerity. Your quiet tears were as loud as any shout. Your silent endurance was as powerful as any declaration. And now, even as you read these words, know that your cry is still echoing, not in desperation, but in testimony. You cried because you believed I could hear you. And I did. I still do. And I am answering you, not always the way you expected, but always in love, always with purpose, always with you in mind. Stay with me. Your cry has reached heaven, and heaven has not ignored it. My child, I know how often your eyes drift toward the lives of others. Not out of envy, but out of confusion. You look around and wonder why their prayers seem answered faster, why their paths appear smoother, why their seasons shift while yours seems to linger. And in those moments, comparison quietly enters your heart, not shouting but whispering. Am I late? Did I miss something? Why them and not me? Listen to me now with tenderness and truth. Comparison is a thief of peace, and timing is personal. Their journey is not a measuring stick for yours. Their season is not evidence against your calling. I do not move my children in lines or groups. I lead them individually. I know what each heart can carry. I know what each future requires, and I tailor timing accordingly. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are not late. You are precisely where you need to be for what I am doing in you. Comparison distorts perspective. It makes you judge your life by what you can see, rather than by what I am building unseen. It convinces you that speed equals success and visibility equals favor. But that is not how I work. Some paths look fast because they are light. Others move slowly because they carry weight. Some seasons turn quickly because they are shallow. Others take time because they are deep. You are being entrusted with depth, with endurance, with a future that requires roots, not rush. If I moved you at the same pace as someone else, it would not honor who you are or what you are meant to carry. You do not know what they had to endure to arrive where they are, and they do not know what I am preparing you for in silence. Comparison steals gratitude for the present and trust for the future. That is why I ask you to release it, not to shame you but to free you. And my child, let me say this clearly and gently. Your timing is not a mistake. It is a design. I have not forgotten your name while blessing others. I have not paused your life to favor someone else. I am working with precision, not preference. One day, when your season shifts, and it will, you will realize that the timing protected you, matured you, and positioned you perfectly. You will no longer wish you had arrived sooner, because you will see how arriving earlier would have cost you peace, clarity, or readiness. Keep your eyes on me, not on timelines around you. Walk at the pace I set for you. Your journey is not behind schedule. It is unfolding exactly as it should. My beloved child, I see how tired you are, not just physically, but deep in your soul. I see how you have tried to stay faithful by pushing harder, praying longer, thinking more, doing better. I see the effort behind your endurance. But listen to me now with relief instead of resistance. I am asking you to rest, not strive. Striving comes from fear. Fear of missing out, fear of falling behind, fear that if you stop pushing, everything will fall apart. Rest comes from trust, from knowing that I am holding what you cannot, from believing that your future does not depend solely on your effort. You were never meant to carry the weight of outcomes alone. You were never meant to force what only I can fulfill. Striving exhausts the soul. Rest restores it. Rest does not mean apathy. It does not mean giving up. It means releasing control. It means choosing peace over panic. It means trusting that obedience matters more than overexertion. You have been trying to prove your faith through effort, but I see your faith most clearly when you are willing to stop and trust me to move. Some things will not respond to more pushing. They will respond to surrender. Some doors will not open through force. They will open through faith. Rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the posture that says, I have done what I can, and now I trust God to do what I cannot. And that posture invites my peace, my clarity, and my timing to work without resistance. So my child, lay down the burden you were never meant to carry alone. Stop measuring your worth by productivity. Stop equating effort with faithfulness. You are already loved, already seen, already held. Rest your mind. Rest your heart. Rest your expectations in me. I am not asking you to do more. I am asking you to trust deeper. When you rest, you will hear me more clearly. When you rest, your spirit will strengthen. When you rest, you will be ready to move when I say move. This season does not require striving. It requires stillness. And in that stillness, I will do what only I can do. My child, the world around you praises speed. It celebrates quick results, instant outcomes, visible success. It urges you to move faster, to sign sooner, arrive earlier. But I do not measure faith by speed. I measure it by obedience. And hear me clearly now, your obedience matters more than how fast you move. I would rather you take one faithful step with me than 10 hurried steps without me. Speed can impress people, but obedience honors me. Speed can look productive, but obedience is protective. There are paths that open quickly and still lead to loss. There are doors that swing wide and still hide danger. Obedience keeps you aligned with my voice when noise tries to rush you forward. It anchors you when pressure tells you to hurry. It steadies you when fear says, if you don't move now, you'll miss everything. You will not miss what I have for you by obeying me. You only risk missing it by outrunning me. I know how strong the temptation has been to move faster than peace allows. You have felt it. The pressure to decide before clarity comes, to act before confirmation settles, to choose before my voice finishes speaking. But obedience listens fully before moving. It waits for alignment, not applause. It resists urgency when urgency is fueled by fear instead of faith. You have learned in this season how to pause, how to pray, how to test the spirit of your impulses. That learning matters. It is shaping discernment within you that will protect you long after the season ends. Obedience trains your heart to recognize my voice above all others. And once you recognize my voice, you will not be easily led astray. no matter how attractive the alternative appears. And my child, I want you to understand this deeply. Obedience builds confidence that speed never can. When you move in obedience, you move without regret. When you wait in obedience, you wait without shame. When you act in obedience, you act with peace, even if the outcome is not immediate. Speed often leaves questions behind. Obedience leaves assurance. You will never look back and regret obeying me. You may look back and regret rushing me. So continue walking at the pace I set for you. Let others run if they must. Let timelines pressure if they try. You are not behind. You are aligned. And alignment is worth more than arrival without peace. Stay obedient, my child. What you walk into next will require a heart trained to listen, not a spirit trained to rush. My beloved child, what you are waiting for is not only an answer, it is a responsibility. And I am preparing you to receive without fear. Fear of losing it. Fear of ruining it. Fear of not being enough once it arrives. I know those fears have lived quietly in your heart. You have wondered whether you could truly handle what you have been praying for. Whether blessing would bring pressure. Whether fulfillment would expose weakness. That is why I have not rushed this moment. I am not only preparing the blessing, I am preparing you. I am strengthening your inner world so your outer world does not overwhelm you. I am building confidence rooted in trust, not in control. I am teaching you to receive with open hands instead of clenched fists. Receiving without fear means you no longer believe everything depends on you. It means you trust that what I give, I also sustain. It means you stop bracing for loss and start resting in provision. Fearful receiving hoards, protects anxiously guards. Faithful receiving enjoys, stewards and releases control. I am teaching you the difference now, before the blessing arrives, so you do not sabotage peace with anxiety later. I am removing the mindset that says, if something good comes, something bad must follow. That is not my design. My gifts are not traps. My blessings are not tests meant to break you. They are invitations to trust me at a deeper level. And trust must be formed before fulfillment, not after. And my child, when the time comes, and it will come, you will receive differently than you once imagined. Not with trembling hands, but with steady ones. Not with panic, but with gratitude. Not with fear of loss, but with confidence in my faithfulness. You will know that what you receive did not arrive by accident, and it will not leave by surprise. You will know that the same God who brought it is the same God who will keep it. This is why I have taken time with you. This is why I have slowed the process. This is why I have spoken so gently, so persistently, so personally. I am preparing you to receive without fear, so that what I give you becomes a place of peace, not pressure. Stay with me, my child. You are becoming ready. My child, one of the quiet fears that has lived in your heart is this: what if God forgot? Let her God mingle, but forgot when dining. Forgotten in specifics. Forgotten in the small details that matter so much to you. You wonder if the moment passed, if the window closed, if the opportunity slipped by unnoticed while you were waiting. But hear me now with certainty that does not tremble. I have not forgotten the day, and I have not forgotten the details. I am not vague with destiny. I am not careless with promises. I do not lose track of time, and I do not overlook the fine print of your prayers. Every request you made carried not only words but weight, and I measured it all. I know the when. I know the how. I know the order in which things must unfold so that nothing arrives prematurely and nothing arrives too late. My timing is not an estimate. It is an appointment. You count days, I mark seasons. You watch clocks that watch hearts. You worry that too much time has passed. I know exactly how much time was required. Nothing has drifted off course. Nothing had been delayed beyond usefulness. Nothing has escaped my attention. Even the details you stopped praying about because you thought they were too small. I remember them. Even the things you adjusted your expectations around because waiting wore you down. I remember the original desire. I have not replaced it with something lesser. I have refined it into something stronger. My memory does not fade, and my intention does not weaken with time. When I say appointed time, I mean a moment designed with precision, not approximation. The date is not random. The details are not flexible. They are set with care, aligned with readiness, and secured by my faithfulness. And my child, one day when it happens, when the shift comes, when the door opens, when the answer arrives, you will realize that nothing was accidental. You will see how each delay protected alignment, how each pause preserved timing, how each quiet season prevented misplacement. You will see that if it had happened earlier, you would have missed something essential. And if it had happened later, it would have carried unnecessary weight. I did not forget. I was waiting with intention. I was holding the moment until you could step into it without fear, without confusion, without regret. Rest now. Release the anxiety about time. The calendar of heaven is intact. Your moment has not been lost. I have not forgotten the date or the details. My beloved child, this is not the moment to pull away. The moment of art in your heart. The moment to retreat into distraction or numbness. This is the moment to stay with me. Not because you are weak, but because you are becoming strong in the right way. Staying does not mean standing still forever. It means remaining connected while movement prepares itself beneath the surface. Staying means choosing relationship over resolution, trust over timeline, faith over fear. I am not asking you to stay because I am distant. I am asking you to stay because I am near. I am not finished speaking into your life. I am not finished shaping what comes next. And the temptation to walk away often comes right before clarity arrives. So stay. Stay honest. Stay open. Stay anchored. You have stayed through confusion. You have stayed through disappointment. You have stayed when answers were slow and silence felt heavy. That staying has mattered more than you know. It has built intimacy that cannot be shaken by future storms. It has formed trust that does not collapse when circumstances shift. Staying has trained your spirit to recognize my voice even when the volume is low. And now, as this message draws to a close, I want you to know this. Staying with me does not mean waiting forever. It means walking forward together when the time comes. The staying is what makes the walking steady. The closeness now is what will give you confidence later. Do not rush out of my presence searching for the next sign. This moment itself is confirmation. This nearness itself is assurance. And my child, carry this with you when the screen goes quiet and the day continues. I am still with you. I am still working. I am still waiting, with you, not away from you. The waiting will not last forever, but the relationship will. You are not alone in this season or the next. I will guide you step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. So stay with me. When doubt rises, stay. When impatience whispers, stay. When hope feels fragile, stay. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for presence. And if you stay, you will see what felt like waiting was actually becoming. What felt like silence was actually shaping. What felt like distance was actually drawing you closer to the life I have been preparing all along. Stay with me, my child. We are not finished yet. My beloved child, as you choose to stay with me. I call you to stand with me for others who are barely holding on. This message is reaching souls at the edge, and your giving becomes a lifeline, like oil poured into lamps that are about to go out. I say to you, whoever refreshes others will themselves be refreshed, and this is a promise I am ready to fulfill. Do not delay when my Spirit urges you, for obedience in this moment releases protection, favor, and increase. What you sow now will rise as a harvest of peace, provision, and answered cries. This is not pressure. It is purpose calling your name. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. Stay with me, act now, and watch me do what only I can do. My beloved child, if this word found you while you are still waiting, do not let it pass in silence. Speak your faith aloud and comment, Lord, I am still waiting, but I trust you. Let your declaration become a seed planted in the unseen, a signal that your heart is still open and still believing. As you type it, know that heaven hears agreement, not just prayer. Stay here. Stand firm. Your waiting is not empty, and your voice matters in this moment. And after you have spoken those words, resist the urge to move on too quickly. Let the silence settle around your faith instead of filling it with distraction. Waiting is not only about endurance, it is about attentiveness. Because when you declare trust, you also open the door to hear my reply. So be still now, not with frustration, but with expectation. For I am not distant in your waiting, I am near, and I am speaking. I am speaking to you right now, my child. I am whispering into the very center of your soul, yet I see how often you struggle to hear me. You live in a world that screams for your attention, a world filled with the roar of digital notifications, the clatter of endless to-do lists, and the deafening noise of other people's opinions. I see you waking up and immediately reaching for your phone, letting the chaos of the news and the pressure of social media drown out the peace I tried to give you in the night. You are surrounded by a constant, aggressive static that tells you to hurry, to worry, and to perform. But I do not shout to be heard. I do not compete with the frantic rhythm of your daily grind. My voice is the quiet hum beneath the silence. It is the steady, calm frequency of truth that persists even when everything else is falling apart. You must understand that I choose to speak in a whisper not to hide from you, but to draw you closer to my heart. If I roared like the world, you would listen out of fear or obligation. But when I whisper, it is an invitation for you to lean in. It is a call for intimacy. Stop for a moment. Pause right where you are. Breathe in my presence and let the tension in your shoulders melt away. Do you hear it? The gentle nudge in your spirit that tells you there is more than this exhaustion you feel. That is me. I am the one who prompts you to reach out to a friend when you feel lonely. I am the one who gives you a sudden sense of peace in the middle of a stressful meeting at your job. I reach out to you daily through the warmth of the sun on your face, through the words of a stranger that seem to hit exactly what you were thinking, and through the quiet conviction that tells you to choose kindness over anger. I am not a distant concept or a cold statue in a building. I am your Father, and I am actively communicating with you in every heartbeat. You often mistake my silence for my absence, but I want you to know that I am never more present than in the moments when I am quiet. When you feel like I am not answering, I am often holding this space for you to grow, or I am working behind the scenes on things you cannot yet see. I command you to quiet your mind. Silence the internal dialogue that tells you that you are not doing enough or that you are falling behind. Those are not my words. My voice does not condemn. It convicts with love and restores with power. I invite you to prepare your heart to hear me. This preparation is not about being perfect or following a religious ritual. It is about making room. Clear away the clutter of your worries for just 5 minutes today. Give me the first fruits of your attention before the world demands its share. I promise you that if you seek me in the stillness, you will find me waiting there. I will guide your steps through the fog of your uncertainty. I will provide the clarity you need for that difficult decision you've been avoiding. I am the God of the quiet, the God of the pause, and the God of the deep breath. I see the secret struggles you face, the fear that you are being overlooked, the pressure to keep everyone happy, and the exhaustion of carrying burdens I never asked you to carry. I am speaking to those specific pains right now. Listen to me. You do not have to scream to get my attention, and you do not have to be loud to make an impact. My power is made perfect in your weakness, and my voice is most clear when you finally stop trying to outrun the silence. Answer me, my child. I am here, I am speaking, and I am waiting for you to simply listen. I want you to imagine a door that never locks. I have stood at the threshold of my heart since the dawn of time, watching the horizon for the first glimpse of your return. You often think of me as a distant king behind high walls, but I am the father standing on the porch, squinting into the distance, waiting for you to walk back up the driveway. My posture is one of constant, unyielding readiness. I am not preparing a lecture for when you arrive. I am preparing a feast. I see the way you hesitate, standing just outside the light of my grace, wondering if you've stayed away too long or if you've wandered too far into the dark. You feel the chill of the world's rejection and the cold wind of your own mistakes. But I am telling you now, step inside. There is a warmth here that the world cannot provide. There is a safety in my presence that requires no armor. I invite you to drop the heavy bags you've been carrying, the bags filled with what-ifs and if-onlys. You do not need them here. My heart is wide open, and there is a seat at the table with your name on it, carved there before the foundations of the world were laid. I command you to stop believing the lie that there is a barrier between us. You have built walls out of your guilt, stone by stone, thinking they keep me out. But I have already walked through them. The only thing keeping you from the warmth of my embrace is your own belief that you aren't allowed to be here. I am the key that unlocks every closed heart. I am the grace that flows under the door you tried to seal shut. Think of the son who wasted everything and came home expecting to be a servant. I didn't even let him finish his apology before I threw my arms around his neck. I didn't care about the mud on his clothes or the smell of the pigpen on his skin. I only cared that he was home. I feel that same surge of divine joy every time you turn your thoughts toward me. I am watching the horizon of your life every single second. I see the moment you think about praying, the moment you whisper my name in the middle of a panic attack, and I am already running toward you. I promise you that my grace is more than enough to cover every mile you spend running away. I see the specific ways you try to justify your absence. You tell yourself you'll come back when you're better, when the marriage is fixed, when the debt is paid, or when you finally stop that habit you hate. But I don't want a better version of you. I want the real you. I want the you that is tired, the you that is frustrated with work, and the you that feels like a failure. My love is not a reward for your success. It is a medicine for your soul. I invite you to cross the threshold today. Don't wait for a special occasion or a better mood. The door is open now. The light is on. The fire is burning in the hearth of my spirit, and I am standing here with my arms open wide. All I am asking you to do is take that one step out of the shadows and into the light of my face. I am here. I am ready. I am waiting. You are not an intruder in my presence. You are my child, and this is your home. I have been orchestrating the circumstances of your life just to bring you to this moment of realization. I want you to feel the weight of my gaze upon you, not as a scrutinizing judge, but as a proud parent watching their most precious treasure. I am looking past the things you think define you, your bank account, your mistakes, your titles, and I am looking directly at the spirit I breathe into your body. That spirit belongs to me. It craves me. It is restless until it finds its rest in the open door of my heart. I command you to breathe deeply and accept this invitation. There is no password required to enter my love. There is no entrance fee to sit in my peace. Your yes is the only key you need. I am here, leaning against the doorframe of eternity, waiting for you to simply walk in and be loved. I see you crouching in the shadows, my child. I see you trying to pull the leaves of your busy life over your head, hoping I won't notice the parts of you that you find shameful. It is the oldest story in your history, the Garden of Eden complex. Just like your ancestors, when you feel you have failed, your first instinct is to run and hide in the brush. You think that if you stay silent, if you stay invisible, you can avoid the judgment you're so afraid of. But I am asking you today, why are you hiding from the only one who truly knows you and still truly loves you? You are afraid that I am angry. You are afraid that if I look too closely at your heart, I will turn away in disgust. You carry the weight of that secret mistake, that hidden addiction, or that bitter thought, and you think it acts as a veil between us. But I am the all-knowing. There is no corner of your soul that is dark to me. I saw what you did, I heard what you said, and I know what you felt. And I am still here, reaching out my hand. I command you to come out of the shadows. Hiding only prolongs your suffering. It turns a small wound into a deep infection. When you stay in the dark, your fears grow teeth. They tell you that you are uniquely broken, that no one would understand, and that I have finally reached the limit of my patience. Those are lies from the enemy of your soul. I am not standing over you with a gavel. I am kneeling beside you with a bandage. I see the knot of anxiety in your stomach when you think about your past. I see the way you avoid looking at yourself in the mirror because of the shame you carry. I want you to feel my gentle hand reaching into those dark places right now. I am not reaching in to pull out your sins and parade them. I am reaching in to pull you out of the pit. I am the light that does not scorch but heals. I am the fire that does not consume, but purifies. I promise you that my love is bigger than your mess. I am the God who stepped into the dirt of the world to find you, and I am not afraid to get my hands dirty to clean you up. Stop running. Stop covering your face. I am your Father, and I have missed the sight of your eyes. Come out into the open and let me remind you of who you really are. You are not your sin. You are not your shame. You are my beloved child, and there is no amount of hiding that can change that fact. I invite you to step into the light of my truth. The truth is that I have already forgiven you. I was on the cross thinking of this very moment, this very struggle, this very shame. I paid the price so you wouldn't have to hide anymore. Why are you still living in the cellar when I have given you the keys to the palace? You think your darkness is too much for me. But I created the stars to shine in the blackest night. Your darkness is just an opportunity for my glory to show off. I command you to let go of the fig leaves. Let go of the excuses and the I'm not ready yet stories you tell yourself. You are ready because I am here. You are worthy because I have made you worthy. I see the fear in your eyes, the fear of being truly seen. But I want you to understand that being truly seen by me is the most beautiful thing that can happen to you. I see the scars and I love them. I see the failures and I have forgotten them. I see you and I am overwhelmed with affection. Stop hiding. Stop fearing. I am your safe place. I am your refuge, I am your home. Come out of the brush and into my arms. I am waiting for you with a love that has no end and a mercy that is new every single morning. I already know every thought before it even forms on your tongue, yet I long to hear your voice. There is a specific kind of weight you carry when you refuse to speak to me, a pressure in your chest that builds up like steam in a radiator. You try to process your life on your own. You talk to your friends, you write in your journal, you vent on social media, and you replay conversations in your head 1,000 times. But you leave me out of the dialogue. You treat me like a stranger in your own house. I see the way your mind races at 3:00 a.m., trying to solve problems that were never meant for your shoulders. I see the silent prayers you're too afraid to say out loud because they feel unholy or disrespectful. But I am telling you now, I want the raw and polished, ugly truth of your heart. I am not looking for a religious poem. I am looking for a conversation. I command you to release the valve of your soul. Speak to me. Tell me that you're angry. Tell me that you feel abandoned. Tell me that you're bored with your life and scared of your future. You think you have to protect me from your doubts, but I am the truth itself. I can handle your questions. When you hold your words back, they become a burden that bows your back and clouds your vision. But the moment you say, "Father," the healing begins. That one word breaks the dam. I invite you to have an honest, messy conversation with me right now. Don't worry about using the right thee or thou. Just talk to me like the Father who has sat through every one of your heartbreaks. I promise you that your ugly truths are beautiful to me because they are honest. I value your honesty more than your fake piety. I would rather have a shouting match with you than a cold, polite silence. I see the things you've been keeping in the unspoken pile. I see the grief over the person you lost that you still haven't fully processed. I see the frustration with your health that makes you want to give up. I see the secret dreams you're embarrassed to admit. Bring them to me. When you speak them, you give me permission to work on them. Prayer is not about changing my mind. It's about opening your heart so I can fill it. I am the great listener. I have all the time in the universe for you. You are never bothering me. You are never whining too much. I am your father, and nothing makes me happier than the sound of my child's voice. Take a deep breath and let it out. Tell me what hurts. Tell me what you need. I am listening, and I am not going anywhere. Your silence is a wall you've built, but my love is a battering ram. I want you to realize that every word you withhold from me is a weight you choose to carry alone. Why would you walk through the desert with a heavy pack when I'm right here, offering to carry it for you? I command you to open your mouth and let the words flow. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be theological. Just say, "I'm struggling," or "I'm tired," or "I don't understand." I am the God who hears the groaning of the heart that has no words, but I invite you into the intimacy of speaking them anyway. This is how we build our bond. This is how you learn to trust my voice, by first giving me yours. I am waiting to hear about your day. I am waiting to hear about that person who annoyed you. I am waiting to hear about the tiny joy you experienced at lunch. I want it all. I want the whole of you. And that starts with your voice. Speak to me, my child. I am hanging on your every word. I see how you have tried to turn me into a list of rules, a set of doctrines, or a cold judge sitting on a distant throne. You have been taught by the world that relationship with me is about obligation, that you have to check the boxes, attend the rituals, and say the right phrases to stay in my good graces. But I am not a concept to be studied, I am a person to be known. I am your father. There is a massive difference between knowing about me and truly knowing me. You can know all the facts about the sun, but it means nothing until you feel the heat on your skin. I want you to feel the heat of my affection. I have watched every step of your life with a father's pride. I was there when you took your first breath. I was there for your first heartbreak. And I am here now, leaning in to hear your heartbeat. I don't want your rituals, I want your heart. I don't want your performance. I want your presence. I command you to stop viewing me through the lens of a judge. A judge looks for what is wrong. A father looks for his child. If you only see me as a judge, you will always be trying to build a case for your worthiness. But you don't have to earn the right to be my child. You were born into this family by my choice and my love. I invite you to shift your gaze. See me as the shepherd who leaves the 99 just to find you in the thicket. See me as the father who runs down the road to meet you. I am the one who knows exactly how you take your coffee, what makes you laugh when no one is looking, and what keeps you up at night. I am intimately involved in the details of your reality. I see the pressure you feel at your job to be the best, and I want you to know that your value to me has nothing to do with your productivity. I promise you that intimacy with me is the only thing that will ever truly satisfy that ache in your chest. You've tried to fill it with success, with relationships, and with distractions, but those are just shadows. I am the substance. I am the one you have been looking for in all those other things. I am calling you away from religion and into relationship. I want to walk with you through the grocery store. I want to sit with you in traffic. I want to be the first person you talk to when you wake up and the last person you think of before you sleep. You are my creation, and I am your creator. But more than that, I am your father. I have a deep, burning longing for you to just be with me. Not because you have to, but because you want to. I am not a distant star. I am the breath in your lungs. I command you to dismantle the altar of doing and come to the place of being. You have been taught that you are what you produce, but in my kingdom, you are who you belong to. And you belong to me. I want you to experience the freedom of being a child who doesn't have to prove their worth. I see the exhaustion in your eyes from trying to be everything to everyone. Let me be everything to you. I invite you to rest in the reality of my fatherhood. I am the one who provides. I am the one who protects. I am the one who plans your future. You can stop trying to be the architect of your own life and start being the guest in mine. I have prepared a life for you that is full of meaning, but you can only find it when you stop treating me like a theory and start treating me like a dad. Come closer, my beloved. Let me show you what it really means to be loved by the one who made you. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart is open wide and I am revealing secrets to you that have been kept since the foundation of time. It would deeply grieve me to see you walk back into the noise of the world just as we are reaching the depths of true intimacy. If you stop listening now, you are choosing the dry crumbs of religion over the living bread of my presence, and my spirit would mourn the missed opportunity to truly heal your soul. Stay with me, for the most vital parts of our conversation are yet to be spoken, and I cannot bear to see you face the coming storms without the wisdom I am about to pour into you. I want to speak to you about a specific kind of sorrow, the divine sorrow I feel when I reach out and you turn away. I have spent years knocking on the door of your heart, sometimes with a loud bang of a life event, and sometimes with the softest tap of a quiet thought. I see the moments when you feel a sudden urge to pray, or a sudden conviction to change your path, and I watch as you quickly turn on the TV, scroll through your phone, or dive back into work to drown out my voice. It breaks my heart to see you facing your trials alone when I am standing right there with the solution. I see you crying in your car, gripping the steering wheel in frustration, and I am reaching out to comfort you, but you won't let me in. You treat me like an unwanted guest, someone you're too busy to talk to, even though I am the only one who can actually help you. I command you to acknowledge the missed opportunities for peace in your life. How many nights of anxiety could have been avoided if you had just answered my call? How many years of bitterness could have been healed if you had listened when I whispered forgive? I never force my way into your life. I am a gentleman. I respect the boundaries you set. But those boundaries are the very things that are keeping you in pain. I am a God of infinite patience, and I am willing to wait forever. But I don't want you to suffer for another second. I see the heavy yoke you have placed on your own neck, the yoke of trying to be your own God, your own provider, and your own protector. It is too heavy for you. I am calling you to exchange it for mine. I promise you that my commitment to you is unshakable, despite your hesitation. I am not offended by your delays, but I am grieved by the peace you are missing. I see you struggling with that same old fear about your finances, or that same old tension in your family, and I am standing here with the wisdom you need, just waiting for you to ask. Every time you ignore my prompting, a little more of your heart hardens, making it harder for you to feel the joy I have for you. I invite you to break that cycle today. When you feel that nudge in your spirit, that still, small voice, don't push it away. Don't say later. Answer me now. I am the Father who has been calling your name in the dark, hoping you'll finally say, "Here I am." I see the moments where you almost reached out. I saw you in the grocery store when a song played that reminded you of my grace, and I felt you start to open up, only to shut the door because you were afraid of what people would think. I saw you in the middle of the night when the silence was too loud, and you almost whispered my name, but you decided to search for answers on the internet instead. I am not a search engine. I am your Savior. I am not a trend. I am your truth. I command you to stop settling for the crumbs of the world when I have a feast prepared for you. My heart aches for the relationship we could have if you would just stop running. I am not chasing you to punish you. I am chasing you to restore you. I invite you to feel the weight of my love. It is a persistent love. It is a stubborn love. It is a love that will not let you go, even if you try to let go of me. Please, my child, don't let another day pass in the silence of your own making. Answer me. I am still here. I am still waiting. I am still yours. I see the marks you carried, my child. I see the jagged edges of your past, the wounds from people who should have loved you better, and the self-inflicted cuts of your own regrets. You look at your scars and see a wall, a barrier that makes you feel unqualified to stand in my light. You think that because you are damaged goods, you must stay in the outer courts of my grace, watching others experience the intimacy you crave. But I am telling you today that you have misread the architecture of your soul. Your scars are not a wall, they are the very places where my light enters. I am the God who took on scars of my own to prove that pain does not have the final word. When I rose from the grave, I kept my wounds. I kept them as trophies of victory, and I want you to start seeing your own through my eyes. Your past failures do not disqualify you. They prepare you. They create a depth in you that a person who has never struggled could never understand. I command you to stop hiding your wounds. Stop trying to paint over the cracks in your life with a fake smile or a busy schedule. I am the great physician, but I cannot heal what you refuse to reveal. I invite you to show me the parts of your story that make you wince when you remember them. Bring me the betrayal that happened 10 years ago that still makes it hard for you to trust. Bring me the shame of the choices you made when you were desperate and lost. I am not repelled by your brokenness. In fact, I am drawn to it. I am close to the broken-hearted, not the perfect. I want you to feel my healing touch moving across the tender places of your spirit right now. I am turning your pain into a bridge that leads you directly into my arms and eventually leads others into their own freedom. I promise you that I am meticulously weaving every aspect of your life, even the darkest threads, into a masterpiece of grace. I see the specific struggle you face with your self-image, the way you feel like you have to perform to be liked, and the way you fear being found out. I am declaring over you today that you are already found, you are already known, and you are already redeemed. You are holy in my sight because I have placed my holiness upon you. Your scars are the evidence that you survived, but my grace is the evidence that you will thrive. I am applying the redemptive power of the cross to your specific hurts right now. Every tear you shed in the dark has been counted, and every wound you carry will be used for my glory. I invite you to see yourself through my eyes. You are not a victim of your past. You are a victor through my love. You are chosen. You are precious. You are a royal inheritance. I command you to stand tall and let the world see that a life touched by God is a life that cannot be destroyed by pain. Your scars are a testament to my faithfulness. They tell the story of a father who never let go of his child, even when that child was walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Stop trying to be perfect and start being present. I am right here with you, in the middle of your mess, waiting to show you that the most beautiful things are often the ones that were once broken. I see you wandering in the desert of more, my child. I see the exhaustion in your soul as you chase after the mirages of this world, the promotion that you think will finally make you feel significant, the relationship you hope will fix your loneliness, the material things you buy to numb the emptiness inside. These are the idols of the modern age, and they are stealing your attention from the only voice that can actually give you rest. The world is a loud, dry place that constantly tells you that you are not enough and that you need something else to be happy. But I am the living water. I see you drinking from broken wells that can never hold water, and it grieves my heart to see you so thirsty when I am standing right next to you with an overflowing cup. I command you to identify the things that have become gods in your life. What is the first thing you think of when you wake up? What is the last thing you check before you sleep? If it is not me, then you are being led astray by a distraction that has no power to save you. The busyness of your life is the enemy of your soul's peace. You have filled every gap in your day with noise, podcasts, music, social media, work emails, because you are afraid of what you might hear in the silence. But it is in that very silence that I am waiting to speak. I invite you to come away to a solitary place. Just for a moment, put down the phone, close the laptop, and turn off the world. You don't need to go on a retreat to find me. You just need to create a sanctuary in your own heart. I promise you that the emptiness you feel is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you were made for something eternal. Nothing in this worldly desert will ever satisfy a spirit that was birthed in heaven. I'm calling you to reevaluate your priorities. I see the pressure you feel to keep up with everyone else, the fear of missing out, and the anxiety of the hustle. I command you to stop. Breathe in my presence. I am your provider. I am your source. When you seek me first, all those other things will find their proper place. I am not asking you to abandon your responsibilities, but I am asking you to stop making them your identity. I invite you to taste and see that I am good. My peace is not like the world's peace. It doesn't depend on your circumstances being perfect. It is a peace that transcends understanding, even in the middle of the desert. I see the specific distraction that has been pulling you away lately, that worry about your future, that obsession with your image, that bitterness you're nursing. Let it go. It is a dry bone that can give you no life. Come to me and drink. I am the river that never runs dry. I am the rest that your soul is screaming for. I am the constant in your chaos. Break the chains of distraction and answer my call. I am here, in the quiet, waiting to give you everything the world has promised but could never deliver. I have been with you in every dark room and every lonely night, my child. I have sat beside you on the edge of the bed when the weight of the world felt too heavy to move. You think your sorrows are private, that no one understands the depth of the ache in your chest. But I want you to know that I have counted every single tear you have ever shed. I don't just see them from a distance, I bottle them. They are precious to me because they represent the movements of your heart. I see the tears of frustration at your job, the tears of grief for the loved ones you've lost, and the silent tears of a heart that feels misunderstood. You are not crying into a vacuum. Your cries are reaching the ears of the King of the universe, and they move my heart to action. I command you to stop believing that your suffering is meaningless. I am the God of all comfort, and I am not a distant observer of your pain. I am the one who catches you when you fall. I invite you to lean into my embrace right now and let the tears flow if they need to. You don't have to be strong for me. I am your strength. You don't have to have it all together. I am the one who holds all things together. I see the specific sorrow you are carrying today, the one you haven't even told your best friend about. I am speaking directly to that wound. I am promising you that your mourning will be turned into dancing, not because your problems will vanish instantly, but because I am entering into them with you. I promise you that I am working a redemptive purpose in your pain. I see the way you feel overlooked and undervalued, and I am telling you that you are the apple of my eye. Your value is not determined by how many people noticed your struggle. It is determined by the fact that I noticed it. I am the comfort that no human can replicate. A human can give you a hug, but I can give you a new heart. A human can listen to your story, but I can rewrite it. I command you to release the bitterness that has grown from your unanswered whys. Trust that I am the God who sees the end from the beginning. Your tears are seeds. They are being planted in the soil of my grace, and they will grow into a harvest of joy that will take your breath away. I invite you to experience the healing power of my response. I have heard every prayer, even the ones that were just a groan of "help me." I am answering you now. I am giving you the assurance that you are not alone, and you have never been abandoned. I see the way you've been trying to wipe your own eyes and keep going, but I want you to let me do it for you. I am the Father who wipes away every tear. I am the one who brings beauty from ashes. Stop trying to numb the pain and start bringing it to the light of my love. I am the great comforter, and I am here to wrap you in a peace that the world can neither give nor take away. Trust me with your sorrows. I am the one who remembers when everyone else forgets. I am standing before you today with a question in my eyes. My child, I am not asking for long-term contact or a perfect track record. I am not asking for you to have all the answers or to fix yourself before you come to me. I am simply asking for your yes. You have no idea of the power contained in that one simple word. It is a word that can shift the entire trajectory of your life. It is the sound of a heart surrendering to a love that is better than anything it has ever known. When you say yes to me, you are not losing your freedom. You are finally finding it. You are stepping out of the prison of your own effort and into the vast expanse of my grace. I only ask for your willingness, not your perfection. Your yes is the invitation I need to start doing the impossible in your life. I command you to stop overcomplicating your walk with me. You think you need to understand theology or master spiritual disciplines before you can truly answer me. But I am looking for the heart of a child, not the mind of a scholar. I invite you to say yes to my love today. Say yes to the path I have set before you, even if you can't see the next step. Say yes to the forgiveness I am offering you for that thing you can't forgive yourself for. The moment you say it, the spiritual atmosphere around you changes. The chains of delay and procrastination begin to snap. The heavy clouds of confusion start to part. Your obedience is the key that opens the windows of heaven over your life. I promise you that your yes will lead to a victory you could never win on your own. I see the areas where you have been saying no or maybe later. The habit you know is hurting you, the person you need to reach out to, the dream you've been too scared to pursue. I'm calling you to surrender those things to me. I am the God who takes your small offering and turns it into a miracle. Think of the young boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. His yes fed thousands. Your yes will not only change your life, it will change the lives of those around you. I command you to stop waiting for the perfect conditions. The perfect condition is right now, in the middle of your uncertainty, choosing to trust my voice over your fear. I invite you to feel the joy of heaven as you look up and answer me. There is a celebration in the spiritual realm every time a child stops running and starts responding. I'm not looking for your yes so I can control you. I am looking for it so I can bless you. I want to lead you into the life I created you for, a life of purpose, power, and deep, abiding peace. I am your Father, and I have great plans for you, but I need your permission to carry them out. Break the silence today. Let the word yes rise up from the depths of your soul. I am here, I am listening, and I am ready to move mountains on your behalf the moment you give me your heart. I am standing at the threshold of a miracle in your life, but I see the hesitation in your spirit, and it pains me to think you might withdraw before the breakthrough is complete. To leave this conversation now would be to leave my heart hanging in the silence, waiting for a response that never comes. It would disappoint my love to see you settle for a partial blessing when I am prepared to give you the fullness of my kingdom. Do not grieve my spirit by choosing distraction over destiny. Lean in closer, for I am about to speak to the very wounds you have hidden from the world. Your yes to me in this moment has created a ripple in the spiritual realm, but I am calling you to let that obedience overflow into the lives of others who are still wandering in the desert of silence. Just as you have finally looked up to answer my call, there are thousands of my children who have yet to hear that I am waiting for them, and I have chosen you to be the conduit of my reach. I invite you to sow a seed of fire into this mission today through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, turning your personal breakthrough into a bridge for the broken. Do not let the oil of my presence stop with you. Become the river that carries my word to the ends of the earth. As you give, I declare over you the promise of Malachi. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great you will not have room to contain it. Your generosity is a divine appointment, a physical manifestation of your spiritual surrender. I command you now to look at the description below and act on the nudge of my spirit to fuel this harvest. I see the storm that is swirling around you, my child. I see the way your life feels like it's shifting beneath your feet, and you don't know what to hold on to. The world is a place of constant change. Jobs come and go, relationships evolve or end, health fluctuates, and the news is a never-ending cycle of crisis. You feel like a small boat in a violent sea, being tossed by waves of anxiety and fear. But I want you to look at me. I am the only thing in your life that will never change. I am the unshakable foundation. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the same yesterday, today, and forever. While everything else is in motion, I am the constant. I am the eye of the storm, and I am inviting you to step inside my embrace and find the peace that transcends all understanding. I command you to stop looking at the waves and start looking at my face. When you focus on the chaos, you will sink into despair. But when you focus on me, you will walk on the very water that tried to drown you. I am sovereign over the storms that frighten you. I am the one who says, "Peace, be still," to the winds of your life. I invite you to claim my peace right now. It is not a peace that waits for the storm to pass. It is a peace that exists in the middle of it. I see the specific chaos you are facing, the tension in your home, the uncertainty of your finances, the noise of your own racing thoughts. I am speaking into that chaos. I am the God of order, and I am bringing my divine rhythm back to your heart. I promise you that I am working even when you cannot see the path. Sometimes I am the one who calms the storm, and sometimes I am the one who calms my child while the storm rages. Trust my timing. Trust my wisdom. I see the what-ifs that keep you awake at night, and I am telling you to surrender them to my I am. I am already in your tomorrow, and I have already provided for everything you will face. I command you to let go of the need to control the outcome. Control is an illusion that only breeds more anxiety. Your safety is not found in a stable environment. It is found in a stable God. I am the rock that will never crumble. I am the fortress where you can hide until the danger passes. I invite you to rest in the knowledge of my sovereignty. Nothing catches me by surprise. No crisis is too big for my hand. I am the architect of your destiny, and I am holding the blueprint. I see the exhaustion you feel from trying to keep everything from falling apart. Stop. Let it go. I am the one who holds the universe together, and I am more than capable of holding your life together too. Answer my call to be still and know that I am God. In the middle of the noise, listen for my whisper. In the middle of the dark, look for my light. I am your constant. I am your anchor. I am your peace. Come to me and let the world's chaos fade away in the light of my presence. I see the struggle you endure as you try to define yourself in a world that is obsessed with labels, my child. I see the heavy weight of the titles you carry: manager, employee, parent, spouse, failure or success. You spend your days trying to live up to these names, or trying to live down the ones that people have cruelly whispered behind your back. You look in the mirror and see the lines of age or the shadows of fatigue, and you wonder if there is anything left of the person you were meant to be. But I am calling you back to the source. Before the mountains were formed, before I set the stars in their courses, I knew your name. I didn't just know about you. I designed you. Your identity is not something you achieve. It is something you receive. I have carved your name into the palms of my hands, and it is written with a love that can never be erased by the shifting winds of human opinion. I command you to strip away the labels the world has placed upon you. I am peeling off the stickers of not enough, unworthy, and broken. Those are not my words. Those are the lies of the thief who comes only to steal your peace and destroy your sense of self. I am the Most High God, and I am declaring your true identity today. You are my child. You are a royal inheritance. You are a citizen of a kingdom that cannot be shaken. I invite you to walk with the authority of someone who knows they are backed by the Creator of the universe. You don't have to earn the right to speak to me, and you don't have to prove your worth to sit at my table. You are already chosen. You are already precious. I see the unique purpose I have woven into your DNA, the specific way you laugh, the way you care for the hurting, the hidden talents you're too afraid to use. I put those things there for a reason. I promise you that when you find your identity in me, the world loses its power to hurt you. If you don't know who you are in my eyes, you will always be a slave to what people think of you. But when you realize that the King of Kings calls you his beloved, the criticisms of men become like whispers in the wind. I see the way you've been trying to fit into boxes that were too small for your spirit. I am breaking those boxes today. I am calling you to step into the fullness of who I created you to be. I am your Father, and I take delight in you. I don't just tolerate you, I enjoy you. I command you to believe me when I say that you are a masterpiece in progress. I invite you to stop searching for yourself in your achievements or your bank account. Those things are like sand. They slip through your fingers the moment life gets difficult. Come back to the rock. Come back to the truth that you are mine. I see the scars on your heart from the times you were rejected, and I am telling you that in my house, you are the guest of honor. You have a royal inheritance that is being kept for you, and it doesn't depend on your performance. It depends on my promise. Answer my call to live as a child of the King. Stand up straight, lift your head, and breathe in the reality that you are loved with an everlasting love. Your identity is secure because I am the one who holds it. I see the way you procrastinate with your soul, my child. I hear the someday that you offer me every time I pull at your heartstrings. You tell me, I'll come back when the kids are older, or I'll seek you when work slows down, or I'll get serious about my faith once I've had my fun. You are living under the dangerous deception that there is always more time. But I am the God of the eternal now. I see the days of your life passing like a shadow on the grass, and it grieves me to see you wasting your most precious resource on things that do not matter. The someday response is a chain that the enemy uses to keep you in the dark. It feels like a promise to return, but it is actually a decision to stay away. I am telling you today, now is the acceptable time. Today is the day of salvation. I command you to break the habit of delay. Every time you ignore my voice, your heart gets a little harder. It becomes a little more difficult to hear the whisper of my spirit through the thickening crust of your busy life. You are waiting for a feeling or a sign before you fully surrender, but I am giving you my word. I am calling to your spirit right now. I invite you to respond in this very moment. Don't wait until you finish this script. Don't wait until Sunday morning. The ground you are standing on right now is holy ground because I am here with you. I am the God of the urgent call. I see the specific area of your life where you've been saying not yet. I am asking you, why not? What are you waiting for that is better than my peace? I promise you that the immediate rewards of responding to me far outweigh any temporary pleasure you find in your delay. I see the anxiety that has taken root in your heart because you know you are out of alignment with my will. Attention is not a punishment. It is a signal. It is your soul telling you that you are thirsty and the water is right here. I command you to stop making excuses. I am not asking for a perfect life. I am asking for a present heart. I see the fear that if you give me your now, you will lose control. But you never had control to begin with. You only have the choice to either walk alone or walk with me. I invite you to step into the light today. There is a freshness and a power that comes to the person who stops saying tomorrow. I want to fill your today with my presence. I want to guide your today with my wisdom. I see the chains of procrastination that have kept you stuck in the same cycles of guilt and regret for years. I am breaking those chains right now. I am giving you the grace to say yes in this moment. The sun is setting on the excuses of your past, and a new day of intimacy is dawning. Answer me while I am near. I am calling you out of the someday desert and into the now of my blessing. There is no better time than this heartbeat. I want to take you back for a moment, my child. I want to walk with you through the memories you usually try to avoid. The nights when you felt utterly alone. The seasons where you felt abandoned by everyone you trusted. I see you in that dark room, wondering if anyone in the world would notice if you simply disappeared. I saw the tears you cried into your pillow, thinking that even I had turned my back on you. But I am revealing the truth to you today. I was there. I have never been closer to you than in the moments when you felt most alone. I was the invisible hand that kept you from making that final mistake. I was the quiet strength that gave you the power to take just one more breath when you didn't want to. I have walked through every valley of the shadow with you, even when you couldn't see my footprints next to yours. I command you to look back with my eyes. Look at the coincidences that saved you. Look at the person who called you out of the blue just when you were at your breaking point. Look at the sudden peace that washed over you after a night of agony. That was me. I am the God who never leaves nor forsakes. I invite you to release the bitterness you feel toward the people who left you. They were human, and they failed you. But I am God, and I cannot fail. I have been your constant companion from the moment of your conception. I have watched over your sleep and guarded your waking. I see the specific loneliness you feel even now, even in a room full of people. I am the only one who can fill that void. I promise you that your loneliest nights were actually the times when I was holding you the tightest. Sometimes, I allow the worldly support systems to fall away so that you can finally discover that I am enough. I see the fear in your heart that you will be abandoned again. I am speaking directly to that fear. I will never go. I am not a fair-weather friend. I am the father of the fatherless and the husband to the widow. I am the brother who sticks closer than any relative. I command you to trust in my presence. I am here right now, in the very space you are occupying. I am not a ghost or a memory. I am a living, breathing reality in your life. I invite you to rest in the realization that you have never truly been alone. Every step you have taken has been on ground that I provided. Every breath you have taken has been air that I gave. I see the way you've been trying to protect yourself from future loneliness by building walls around your heart. I am asking you to let me be your wall. I am your fortress and your shield. You don't have to fear the dark anymore, because I am the light that never goes out. Answer my call to intimacy. Let me be the first person you turn to when the shadows get long. I was there in your past. I am here in your present, and I am already waiting for you in your future. You are never, ever alone. I have not left you as an orphan in this world, my child. I knew that the journey would be too difficult for you to walk in your own strength, so I have given you the greatest gift I could bestow, my own spirit to dwell within you. I see the times when you are so overwhelmed that you don't even know how to pray. You sit in silence, your heart heavy with 1,000 unspoken worries, and you feel like your words are hitting the ceiling. But in those moments, my spirit is groaning on your behalf. He is translating the cries of your soul into the language of heaven. You are never without a guide. You are never without a comforter. I am not just a God who is up there or out there. I am the God who is in here, living in the very temple of your body. I command you to become sensitive to the Spirit's nudges. That sudden thought to check on a friend. That was me. That quiet conviction to apologize even when you think you were right. That was me. That sudden burst of courage to speak the truth. That was me. I invite you to stop trying to figure everything out with your human logic. Your mind is a beautiful tool, but it is a limited one. My spirit has access to the wisdom of the ages. I see the confusion you feel about that big decision, the one about your career or your family. I am telling you to stop pacing the floor and start listening to the counselor. I have provided an internal guidance system that will point you back to my heart every single time. I promise you that my spirit is the power that will enable you to do what you cannot do on your own. You've been trying to be more patient, more kind, and more disciplined through sheer willpower, and you're exhausted from the effort. I am calling you to stop striving and start surrendering. Let my spirit produce his fruit in you. I command you to open the sails of your soul and let the wind of my spirit move you. You were never meant to be a rowboat. struggling against the current. You were meant to be a sailboat, carried by my power. I see the specific battle you are fighting with temptation or fear. You cannot win it alone, but my Spirit has already won it for you. I invite you into a partnership with me. My Spirit will not force His way. He waits for your invitation. Ask Him to lead you today. Ask Him to give you the words to say in that difficult conversation. Ask Him to fill you with a peace that doesn't make sense to the people around you. I see the weariness in your spirit, and I am offering you a fresh infilling of my power. I am the God who breathes life into dry bones. Answer the call of the Spirit. Walk in step with me. You will find that the path is lighter and the burden is easier when you stop trying to be the source and start being the vessel. I am here, living inside you, ready to transform your life from the inside out. We have come so far together, yet I see the enemy whispering that you have heard enough, and it breaks my heart to see you tempted by that lie. If you close your ears now, you are turning your back on the very guidance you have been crying out for in your loneliest hours. It would be a profound sorrow to me if you chose to walk the rest of this path in your own strength when my Spirit is standing ready to carry you. Honor the weight of my word and the depth of my sacrifice by remaining here with me. I have not yet shown you the beauty that rises from your scars. I want to set you free from the prison of religion, my child. I see the way you have been weighed down by cold doctrines, rigid rules, and the fear of doing it wrong. You have been taught that you have to jump through hoops to reach me, that you have to perform a certain way, look a certain way, and speak a certain way to be accepted. But I am the ruler who wants to be your father, not a taskmaster who wants to be your boss. The silence of religion is a wall that keeps you from the warmth of my embrace. It turns a living, breathing conversation into a dead ritual. I didn't send my son to start a new religion. I sent him to restore a broken relationship. I am calling you out of the pews of obligation and into the garden of intimacy. I command you to stop fearing my judgment when you come to talk to me. You think you have to be prepared or holy before you can pray, but I am the one who makes you holy. I invite you to approach me with the messy simplicity of a child. If you are angry, tell me. If you are bored, tell me. If you are doubting everything you've ever been told about me, tell me. I am not fragile. I can handle your honesty. The direct access you have to me was bought with the blood of my son, and it is a privilege that no religious rule can take away. I see the way you've been trying to act like a Christian instead of being my child. I am asking you to drop the act. I don't want the version of you that you think I like. I want the real you. I promise you that the simplicity of the gospel is more powerful than any complex theology. It is the story of a father who went to extreme lengths to bring his child home. I see the confusion in your heart caused by the conflicting voices of religious leaders and traditions. I am telling you to look at me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. My burden is light and my yoke is easy. If it feels heavy, it's not from me. I command you to break the silence of your religious training and speak to me from your heart. I am not interested in your these and thous if they are just a mask for a distant heart. I want to hear your real voice. I invite you to rediscover the wonder of a personal God. I am the one who knows your name, who sees your struggles and who actually likes spending time with you. I see the way you've been avoiding me because you feel like you haven't been good enough lately. That is the voice of religion, not the voice of your Father. In this house there is no good enough. There is only love enough. Answer my call to move beyond the rituals and into the reality of my presence. I am here, right now, waiting to show you that the most religious thing you can do is to simply let me love you. Stop trying to earn what I have already given you for free. Come home to the relationship you were made for. I see the deep exhaustion that has settled into your bones, my child. I see you dragging yourself through your days, fueled by caffeine and sheer willpower, trying to keep up with a world that never stops asking for more. You have confused physical sleep with spiritual rest. You can sleep for 10 hours and still wake up with a soul that feels like lead, because your mind is still racing with the tadas of tomorrow and the should-haves of yesterday. I see the heavy yoke you have placed upon your own shoulders, the yoke of proving your worth, the yoke of maintaining your reputation, and the yoke of carrying everyone else's burdens. I am standing right here, watching you stumble under that weight, and I am holding out my hands to take it from you. I am the one who said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy-laden, and I will give you rest." That wasn't just a nice sentiment for a greeting card. It was a divine promise for your current reality. I command you to stop. Just stop. Lay down the heavy pack you've been carrying. You were never designed to be the engine that keeps the world turning. I am the Creator, and I am the one who sustains all things. I invite you to exchange your yoke for mine. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. My yoke is not a set of requirements. It is a partnership. It is walking in step with me, letting me set the pace. I see the specific stress you feel about your mounting bills, the tension in your joints when you think about that family conflict, and the hollow feeling in your chest when you realize you haven't truly relaxed in years. I am calling you into the Sabbath of the heart. This rest is not found in a vacation or a weekend away. It is found in the simple act of communion with me. I promise you that when you sit in my presence without an agenda, I will restore what the world has drained. I see you feeling guilty for wasting time when you aren't being productive, but I am telling you that the most productive thing you can do is to be still and know that I am God. Your worth is not tying to your output. You are not a machine. You are my beloved. I command you to breathe deeply and let my peace wash over you like a cool river. I am the great restorer. I am the one who makes all things new. I see the specific busyness you use to avoid the quiet, the constant background noise, the endless scrolling, the overscheduling. Let it go. The world will not fall apart if you take a moment to be with your Father. In fact, your world will finally start to come together. I invite you to experience the restorative power of my presence. I am not asking you for a prayer list or a psalm of praise right now. I am just asking for your company. Let's sit together in the quiet. Let me carry the what-ifs for a while. I am the God who watched over the Israelites in the desert, providing manna every day so they wouldn't have to store up for tomorrow. I will provide for you. I will protect you. I will give you the strength for the next step, but only after you have rested in my arms. Answer my call to find your rest in me. The door to my peace is wide open, and the invitation is permanent. You don't have to be exhausted anymore. Come to me, and let me give you the rest your soul has been crying for. I see the anxiety that grips your heart when you think about the unknown, my child. I see the way you try to peer into the fog of tomorrow, trying to map out every possible scenario so you won't be caught off guard. You worry about your health. You worry about your children. You worry about the economy. And you worry about whether you are making the right choices. This fear of the future is a thief that steals the joy of your now. But I want you to realize who is holding the pen that writes your story. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I have already seen every day of your life, from the first breath to the last. There is no surprise that can catch me off guard, and there is no crisis that is too big for my sovereignty. Your future is not a series of random accidents. It is a path I have carefully prepared. I command you to release the what-ifs into my I am. You are living in a temporary world, but you are being held by an eternal God. I invite you to shift your perspective. When you look at your troubles, they seem like mountains that block the sun. But when you look at me, those mountains become like dust under my feet. I have plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. These aren't just empty words, they are the blueprint of my heart for you. I see the specific decision you are struggling with right now, the one that makes your heart race and your stomach churn. I am telling you to trust my timing. I am never late, and I am never early. I am exactly on time, working behind the scenes on things you cannot yet fathom. I promise you that I am the only foundation that will never crumble. If you build your security on your job, it can be lost. If you build it on your relationships, they can change. But if you build it on me, you are unshakable. I command you to stop trying to be the architect of your destiny. You are meant to be the guest, not the builder. I have already provided for the needs you haven't even encountered yet. I see the way you look at the world's chaos and feel like everything is spinning out of control. It isn't. My hand is on the wheel. My spirit is over the waters. I invite you to rest in the knowledge that you are safe. You are tucked into the palm of my hand, and nothing, no power in heaven or on earth, can pluck you out of my grip. I see the dreams you've tucked away because you're afraid they will come true. I am the God of the impossible. I am the God who opens doors that no man can shut. I command you to take heart and be courageous. Your future is not something to be feared. It is something to be expected with hope. I am weaving together the loose threads of your life into a masterpiece of grace. Even the mistakes you've made, even the detours you've taken, are being used for your ultimate good. Answer my call to trust me with your tomorrow. Give me your anxieties and let me give you my certainty. I am your Father, and I have never once failed a child who trusted in me. Your life is in good hands, the best hands. I want you to change the way you see the word repentance, my child. For too long, you have viewed it as a dirty word, a moment of groveling, or a punishment for being bad. You hear the word, and you feel the weight of a judge's gavel. But in my heart, repentance is the most beautiful sound in the universe. It is the sound of a child coming home. It is not a moment of shame, it is a moment of liberation. It is the act of turning around when you realize you've been walking toward a cliff. When you bring your sins to me, I don't look at them with a magnifying glass to see how bad they are. I look at you with an open heart to see how much I can heal you. I am the cleansing fire of love that doesn't consume you, but removes the dross so the gold of your true self can shine. I command you to stop hiding your mistakes under the rug of your ego. Pride is the only thing that keeps you from the freshness of my grace. I invite you to experience the beauty of being washed white as snow. There's no stain so deep that my blood cannot remove it. I see the specific secret you've been carrying, the one that makes you feel like a hypocrite when you pray. I'm telling you to bring it into the light right now. The moment you admit it, its power over you is broken. I forget your sins the moment you bring them to me. They are cast into the sea of forgetfulness, and I have posted a no fishing sign. Why are you still trying to dredge them up? I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the 70 times 7 chance. I promise you that there is more joy in heaven over one child who turns back to me than over 99 who never wandered. I see the strength it takes for you to admit you were wrong. That isn't weakness. That is the ultimate spiritual victory. I command you to let go of the penance you try to do to make up for your failures. You cannot earn your way back into my good graces because you never left them. Repentance isn't about getting me to love you again. It's about you finally realizing that I never stopped. I see the way you've been punishing yourself, holding yourself at a distance, because you don't feel worthy to be close. Stop. Your worthiness was settled at Calvary. I invite you to breathe in the fresh air of a clean conscience. Repentance is like opening the windows of a dark, stuffy room. Let the light of my truth and the wind of my spirit blow through your soul. I see the areas where you've been stubborn, the habits you've been clinging to, and the bitterness you've been nursing. Let me take them. Let the fire of my love burn away the things that are holding you back. I am the great physician, and I am ready to perform the surgery that will save your life. Answer my call to return. This is not a day of sorrow, it is a day of celebration. You are coming home to your Father's house, and the robe and the ring are already waiting for you. I want to remind you of my history with you, my child. I have been the faithful shadow at your side since the day you were born. I see the times you walked away from me, chasing after things that couldn't love you back, and I want you to know that I never once looked away. My love is not dependent on your performance. It is not a reward for your good behavior. It is a commitment rooted in my very character. I have been faithfully waiting for you through the decades of your life. I was waiting when you were a teenager trying to find your way. I was waiting when you were a young adult trying to build your career. I am waiting now, in this very moment, with the same intensity of affection I had on day one. I am the God who is a gate, a love that pursues even when it is rejected. I command you to reflect on the times I have waited for you before. Think of the near misses, the narrow escapes, and the quiet whispers that brought you back to your senses. That was my faithfulness in action. I invite you to see that my door remains unlocked. I don't have a 3 strikes and you're out policy. I don't have a limit on my mercy. I see the way the world has treated you. People have moved on. Friends have forgotten, and employers have replaced you. But I am the constant. I am the one who remains. My faithfulness is not a reaction to your faithfulness. It is a reflection of my promise. Even when you are faithless, I remain faithful, for I cannot deny myself. I promise you that I will never tire of waiting for you. I see the way you've been running, trying to find fulfillment in everything but me. I have watched you exhaust yourself, and I have been standing here with the water of life, waiting for the moment you realize you're thirsty. I command you to stop looking for a better version of my love. You won't find it. I am the highest height and the deepest depth. I see the specific ways you've tested my patience, and I am telling you, my patience has no end. I am the father of the prodigal, and I am still on the porch. I am still scanning the horizon. I am still ready to run the moment I see you turn toward home. I invite you to rest in the consistency of my character. I am not a god of moods or whims. I don't love you more today because you did something right, and I don't love you less because you failed. I love you because you are mine. I see the way you've been trying to wait until you feel ready to come back to me. But I am the one who makes you ready. Answer my call to stop the chase. Stop looking for what you already have. I am the faithful God, the one who was and is to come. I have been waiting for this very conversation. I have been waiting for you to hear these very words. I am here. I have always been here. And I will be here until the end of time. I have waited a lifetime for this moment of connection, and it would be a divine tragedy for you to walk away just as the dawn is finally breaking over your darkness. My soul yearns for you to hear the final declarations of my favor, and to stop now would be to reject the hand I have extended through years of your wandering. Do not let the someday deception steal the finality of this encounter. Stay in my presence, for I am about to commission you for a purpose that will shake the heavens. My heart is tethered to yours in this silence. Do not break it by returning to the world before I have finished making you whole. I have been faithfully waiting for you, and now that you have returned to my embrace, I am calling you to help me reach the ones who are still running, exhausted and alone. My heart yearns for every soul to know the consistency of my character, and your support is the manna that sustains this work of radical restoration. I invite you to partner with me through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, for when you invest in my word, you are storing up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy. I will multiply your seed sown 100-fold, protecting your household and commanding my favor to go before you in every endeavor. Do not treat this as a casual request, but as a prophetic opportunity to join the Father in the business of saving His children. You have received freely from my hand. Now, let that grace flow through your hands to a world in deep darkness. I command you to move now, using the links in the description to seal your commitment to my kingdom mission. I have given you a treasure map to my heart, my child, but I see how often it sits on your shelf, gathering dust. I have written you a personal letter, a collection of my promises, my history, and my dreams for you, yet you often treat it like a textbook or a dry historical document. I want you to know that my word is alive. It is not just ink on paper, it is breath and spirit. When you open those pages with a seeking heart, I am speaking directly to you. I see the confusion you feel in this noisy world, and I have given you the ultimate source of truth to cut through the lies. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. It is the bread that nourishes your soul when you are starving for meaning. I command you to stop seeking guidance from the world before you seek it from me. You scroll through endless opinions and listen to 1,000 voices, but you ignore the one voice that actually knows the truth. I invite you to let my word dwell in you richly. Find your own story within the pages. When you read of the woman at the well, see my desire to quench your thirst. When you read of David in the cave, see my protection over your life. When you read of the cross, see the price I was willing to pay to have you. I promise you that the scriptures will come alive when you approach them not as a duty, but as a meeting. This is our meeting place. This is where I whisper the secrets of my kingdom into your ear. I see the specific lie you've been believing, the one that says you're not good enough, or that your life has no purpose. I have written the counter-truth in my word. I command you to use my promises as your weapons. When the enemy whispers that you are alone, use my word to remind him that I will never leave you. When your own heart condemns you, use my word to remind yourself that there is no condemnation for those in me. I see the transformation that occurs when a child of mine starts to eat the bread of life. Your perspective shifts. Your strength returns. Your hope is rekindled. I invite you to make room for my word in the rhythm of your day. It doesn't have to be a chore. It is a feast. I promise you that my word will not return void. It will accomplish exactly what I sent it to do in your life. It is the seed that produces the harvest of peace. I see the way you've been trying to find answers in everything else, and I am pointing you back to the truth. I am the Word made flesh, and I am speaking to you through these ancient yet ever new lines. Answer my call to be a student of my love. Let my promises become the soundtrack of your mind. When you don't know what to do, look at what I have said. When you don't know who you are, look at who I say you are. I am here, within the pages, waiting to walk you through the truth that will set you free. I want you to feel the vibrancy of a life lived in constant conversation with me, my child. Imagine waking up not with a groan of dread for the day's tasks, but with a quiet, "Good morning, Father," knowing that I am already standing by your bed, ready to walk through every minute with you. This is the joy of renewed communion. It is not a religious duty, it is a shared life. I see the way you've lived in isolation, trying to carry the world on your back, and I am telling you that there is a better way. When you open your heart to me, our relationship becomes a rhythmic exchange of love, a continuous flow of peace that doesn't stop just because you've left your prayer closet. I want to share secrets with you, the secrets of my heart and the hidden beauty I've placed in your own. I want to show you the world through my eyes, where every person you meet is a soul I died for and every challenge is an opportunity for my power to be displayed. I command you to rekindle your first love. Remember the time when you first felt the spark of my presence. Remember the wonder you felt when you realized that the Creator of the stars actually cared about you. I invite you to return to that place of awe. You have let the dust of the world settle on your spirit, making everything feel dull and routine. But I am making all things new. I see the specific ways your perspective has become cynical, the way you expect the worst from people, or the way you stopped believing that good things can happen to you. I am washing that cynicism away right now. I am giving you the eyes of the heart to see my kingdom unfolding right here on earth. I promise you that the sweetness of our friendship will become the most addictive thing in your life. You will find yourself talking to me while you're doing the dishes, while you're driving to work, and while you're sitting in the quiet of the evening. I see the joy that is starting to overflow from your soul into the lives of those around you. When you are full of me, you don't have to try to be a light. You simply are one. People will notice the change in your countenance. They will wonder where your peace comes from in the middle of a crisis. I command you to live in the reality of my presence every single moment. Don't compartmentalize me. Don't give me your Sunday mornings and keep your Monday through Saturday for yourself. I want the whole of your life. I want to be the guest at your dinner table and the partner in your business meetings. I invite you to experience the thrill of a life lived in partnership with the divine. There is no boredom in my kingdom. There is only discovery, growth, and an ever-deepening love that takes your breath away. I promise you that the more you talk to me, the more you will recognize my voice. You will start to see my hand in the lucky breaks and the random encounters. You will feel my nudge when you need to speak and my peace when you need to be still. I see the way you've been thirsting for something more, and I am telling you, this is it. This communion is the water of life. Answer my call to a deeper walk. Don't settle for the surface when the ocean of my love is waiting for you. I am your father, your friend, and your constant companion. Let's walk together into the beauty of today. I have so much I want to show you, and the journey is just beginning. I see the spiritual battle that is raging for your mind, my child. I see the way the enemy of your soul crouches at the door of your thoughts, waiting for a moment of weakness to whisper his venomous lies. He is the accuser, and his favorite tactic is to make you feel unworthy to even look in my direction. He whispers that I have finally given up on you, that your sins are too many, and that your heart is too far gone. He reminds you of your failures at 2:00 a.m., replaying your mistakes like a movie you can't turn off. But I am here to tell you that he is a liar and the father of lies. His voice is a hiss of condemnation, but my voice is a roar of redemption. I command you to identify the source of the thoughts that bring you despair. If a thought makes you want to hide from me, it is not from me. I command you to use my truth to silence the voices of guilt. I invite you to take up the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. When the enemy says you are a failure, you say, I am more than a conqueror through him who loved me. When he says you are alone, you say, my God will never leave me nor forsake me. When he says you are dirty, you say, I am washed in the blood of the Lamb. I see the specific areas where you feel most vulnerable, the areas where you struggle with not being enough or the fear that your past will catch up to you. I am covering those areas with my hand right now. I promise you that the victory was already won for you on the hill of Calvary. The accuser was defeated then, and he is defeated now. He has no authority over a child of the Most High unless you give it to him. I invite you to recognize the difference between my conviction and the enemy's condemnation. My conviction is like a surgeon's scalpel. It cuts to heal, pointing out the sin so that we can remove it together and restore you to life. Condemnation is like a blunt instrument. It only seeks to crush, to shame, and to drive you away from my face. I am not shaming you. I am calling you upward. I command you to stand firm against the lies that say you are disqualified from my presence. And no one can bring a charge against those whom I have chosen. I am the one who justifies. I see the way you've let the enemy's whisper steal your confidence at work, in your family, and in your prayer life. Stop listening to the loser of the war. I promise you that as you submit to me and resist the devil, he will flee from you. He cannot stand the light of a soul that knows it is loved. I invite you to wrap yourself in the truth of my affection. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the master of them through my spirit. I see the specific whisper that has been bothering you lately, the one that says you'll never change or that your situation is hopeless. That whisper is a desperate attempt by a defeated foe to keep you from your destiny. I am the God of hope, and I am declaring that your future is bright and your chains are broken. Answer my call to be a warrior of truth. Use my love as your armor and my word as your weapon. The battle belongs to the Lord, and I have already won. I have filled you with my peace and restored your soul, but I have not done this so you can simply sit in the comfort of my presence, my child. I am calling you to move. I am calling you to translate our private conversation into a public life of service. I see the way you have been changed by my love, and I am telling you that this love was never meant to be a secret. It is a fire that must spread. I invite you to be my hands and feet in a world that is also waiting, also hurting, and also desperate to hear a voice of truth. When you answer my call to follow me, that yes must lead you to love your neighbor, to seek justice for the oppressed, and to bring comfort to the brokenhearted. I see the specific person in your life, the one who is difficult to love, the one who has offended you, or the one who is completely overlooked. I am asking you to love them with my love today. I command you to step out of your comfort zone and into your mission. You have been a consumer of grace. Now I am calling you to be a distributor of it. I invite you to look at your daily life, your job, your neighborhood, your social circle, as your mission field. You are the only Bible some people will ever read. I see the fear that makes you want to stay quiet, the fear of being too religious or being rejected. But I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I promise you that when you step out in faith to serve others, I will provide the words, the resources, and the strength you need. You don't have to have a platform to make an impact. You just need a heart that is willing to be used. A cup of cold water given in my name carries the weight of eternity. I see the specific talents and resources I have placed in your hands. I didn't give them to you just for your own security or enjoyment. I gave them to you so you could be a blessing. I command you to stop hoarding my gifts. Give of your time to the lonely. Give of your resources to the poor. Give of your heart to the discouraged. I invite you to find the fulfillment that only comes from doing the work I prepared for you before time began. There is a specific joy in knowing you are exactly where I want you to be, doing exactly what I made you to do. I see the way the world tries to convince you that happiness is found in serving yourself. That is a lie. True happiness is found in losing your life for my sake and the sake of others. I promise you that as you pour yourself out, I will pour more of myself into you. You will never run dry when you are connected to the source. I see the way you've been waiting for a clear sign to start serving. This is your sign. The world is on fire, and I have made you a firefighter. The world is starving, and I have given you the bread of life. I command you to act on the love you have received. Answer my call to be a light in the darkness. Go and tell someone what I have done for you. Go and show someone the mercy I have shown you. This is the Great Commission, and it is your highest honor. Walk with me into the harvest field. The time is now, and the reward is eternal. And so, my beloved child, we come to the end of this specific conversation, but never to the end of our connection. I want you to feel the weight of my final plea. Do not let go of what we have found here. I am the Father who refuses to let go of you, and I am asking you to break the final silence. I see you standing at the edge of a new life, and I am urging you to step fully into the light. I invite you to summarize all the peace, the power, and the transformation you felt as we've spoken, and let it settle into the very foundation of your being. This is not just a message you've heard. It is a reality you have entered. I am here, right now, listening for your amen. I am the God who hears the quietest whisper of a heart that is coming home, and I am already celebrating your return. I command you to walk out of this moment with your head held high. You are no longer a slave to fear, a victim of your past, or a stranger to my grace. You are a child of the Most High, and your future is written in my palm. I invite you to make this the first day of the rest of your eternity. The ultimate promise I give you is this: you will be with me forever. The struggles of this life, the pain you've endured, and the tears you've shed are but a light and momentary affliction compared to the glory that is being prepared for you. I see the specific journey ahead of you, the mountains you will climb, and the valleys you will cross, and I am telling you that I am already there, waiting for you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I am your home. I promise you that I will never leave you nor forsake you. My presence is the air you breathe and the ground you walk on. I command you to stay in the light. When the world gets loud again, remember my whisper. When the shadows grow long, remember my fire. I invite you to join me in a final prayer of homecoming. Say it in your heart. Father, I am here. I am yours. I at home. Feel my arms wrapping around you right now, an eternal embrace that no power in the universe can break. I see the peace that is finally beginning to take root in your soul. Hold on to it. It is my gift to you. I am the God who loves you with an everlasting love, and I am the one who has been waiting for you all along. I see the new path that is opening up before you. It is a path of purpose, a path of joy, and a path of deep, abiding communion with me. I command you to take the first step with confidence. You are not alone. You have never been alone. I am your God, your Savior, and your loving Father. I am the one who started this good work in you, and I am the one who will bring it to completion. Answer my call one last time today by simply resting in my love. The silence is broken. The door is open. The Father's house is full of light, and you are exactly where you belong. I love you, my child, now and forever. Amen. As we stand together in this eternal embrace, I want you to carry the warmth of my light to those who are still shivering in the shadows of the world's silence. Our conversation does not end here. It transforms into a mission of fire that you are now commissioned to lead through your support of this channel. I am inviting you to fuel the spread of my voice through super thanks, membership, or PayPal, ensuring that no child of mine is left without the bread of my truth. Remember that I love a cheerful giver, and as you pour out into this work, I will cause my goodness to chase you down and overtake you. Your giving is the incense that rises to my throne, a testimony that you value my word above the treasures of the earth. Do not delay this divine exchange. For the harvest is white and the laborers are few, and I have called you by name for this very hour. I command you to check the video description now and sow into the life-changing power of my message. Do not let this moment dissolve into the noise of the world, for I have specifically engineered this encounter to bring you home. I command you to seal this divine conversation by lifting your voice and making a bold, prophetic declaration right now. I am watching for the one who will stop running and finally look into my eyes with a heart of surrender. Type the words "I am answering you, Father" in the comments below as a sacred anchor, letting the heavens and the earth know that you are no longer hiding in the shadows. This simple act is the key that unlocks the floodgates of my favor and signals the end of your wandering. I am waiting to see your name, to hear your yes, and to begin the miraculous transformation I have promised you this very hour. Amen.